about them.
Now I regret not making a list.
Wait, you didn't make a list?
No, damn it.
Jesus, woman. That's okay. We're doing it live. The last time in a long... Well, not the last time in a long time. The last time for Fallout. For a while. Not for a while. For however long
we feel like it
takes.
For it to get better, or for us to not be so frustrated with it, or for us to not be so burnt out on it with each other?
All the above.
Yes.
I'm kind of a little bummed, but I feel like it'll be better for us in the long run to take a little break.
Correct. Correct.
Tiki Taco Man, I see you in Discord.
He just texted us, so you guys...
Oh no. He had to relocate the computer.
I don't understand.
Oh my god, the GIF Max sent.
I feel like
It's
we
good
all
shit.
need to pitch in on him getting a decent laptop, because I don't understand the situation that he puts himself in.
Is
That
it a
and,
laptop?
300-foot... No, it's not a laptop.
Okay.
It's a desktop. But for some reason, he's relocating it every single time we play.
Maybe there's a room where he games with like Mochaccino, like she's there, but then every night he plays with us, he's like, fuck, I don't want, he embarrass me, and so he moves. That's what I imagine.
Wow, what an appropriate start to the evening where we do the review. I just spawned in and there are 2 Scorch Beasts killing me.
Fuck.
Oh, are we playing the game while we do it?
I was just gonna run around, so we had some background music.
B-roll.
I'm totally playing RimWorld. No fucks found.
This
Error
is
404.
dumb. What do you do? Alt F4, that works? Boom! I did it.
Hold on, I'm gonna get a piece of paper so I can write down.
It closes faster when you Alt F4 than I actually.
Seriously,
like,
it's gone.
Yeah.
It's closed.
Yeah, it's gone.
Like a second later. Fuck. I just hope I don't come back. Yeah, there's just 2 Scorch Beasts fucking my face as soon as I load in. Oh, that's cool. You know what the thing is? Like, I know you guys are, particularly Tiki and Max are mostly done, but I'm kind of done too. And I think that speaks a lot of, kind of speaks volumes for me. But that's okay. We'll talk about everything. We won't just talk about bad things. But we need everyone here. Yeah. What did Tiki say? Hang on.
So that he's doing butt stuff to his computer or something.
What is he doing? I never know what he's doing.
Butt stuff with his computer. I'm telling you. Putting it in the exhaust port.
Ugh. Okay, so I take this HDMI port and I stick it in the fan, right? And that'll increase the rate at which... Alright, I'm done. That's stupid, but you get the point. You get the point. The point is made. Fuck.
Taco Man, burning out you love here alone.
What? Were you listening to us?
Best
What?
Tiki entrance ever.
What?
What I missed?
How'd you know? We were singing to summon you, and you came in singing.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm fucking leaving.
We were singing your name too, and you come in singing your name even.
No,
What the
that
fuck?
wasn't that the song? Wasn't that the song you guys were singing?
Almost exactly. Were you listening to us?
No.
Man's a goddamn prophet. We give him too much shit.
What the fuck?
See, this is why Taco Teaches is a good segment.
Tiki Taco teaches.
I'm clairvoyant, and you guys had no idea.
You don't have any idea, which is inherently the problem with you thinking they're your clairvoyant. You don't know yourself.
I am both the absent-minded professor and the idiot savant in the same person.
Yep.
Alright, I can't understand why I'm getting a tone every time I cue my.
Every time you cue your
Yeah.
You're
Tiki, tonight I'm gonna need you to hold that motherfucker down.
I don't know. I have gas. You guys might pick that up if I hold it down all day.
I'd rather pick up you farting.
Then get cut off.
Yeah. Yes. Why? My own machine gun turret is attacking me, by the way. What the fuck is this game?
Isn't that what we're gonna be getting? Isn't that
Yes,
what
that's...
we're gonna be?
Yeah, that's what he was saying earlier.
Shit. Levi's here. Hi, Levi. Levi's like, wait,
Levi.
you guys are just talking all night. This is boring. I'm gonna leave.
I mean, it's about to happen.
Yeah. Should I do the intro, or should we say fuck the
Do
intro?
it.
Wait,
Do
there's
an intro.
Wait, we have an intro?
Frame the conversation.
I'm confused.
We kind of sort of had intro for a while, and then we just stopped doing it.
You should-
stopped.
You should do a thing to introduce what we're doing. Like, that's what you do with a video. Frame the story.
Okay, Mom. Wait, no. Okay, Professor Zaya.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Do we all have our notes out?
Professor Zaya, not
I
Zaya.
do have some things.
Notes.
I got a shitload of notes. I got a Shiite load of notes.
I have such a Shiite load of notes that they're getting into it with this.
Wait a sec. Hang on. Hang on a second. Before we even start, Moongaze just said... First of all, hi, Moongaze. How you doing? Appreciate you.
I'm gay.
Also, Moongaze, you just said you had a date with your first Caucasian person tonight, and she likes Fallout. How are us? I thought you were married, sir.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Hey, maybe he's not in a good
double.
relationship.
That's true. Maybe it's
Maybe
an
they
open
have an
relationship.
open relationship.
Okay, well, that's why we ask. Because either way, I'm going to judge you, but I still respect you.
I mean, if he does have an open relationship, kudos to you, sir. Hats off.
Yeah, that's
That's a good one.
That's a keeper, then.
Way to do the thing that all of us are programmed to do, but none of us have culturally.
not- We're not all programmed to do it.
Wait, what?
Humans are programmed to just fuck around.
I mean, that's not completely true.
Past mating, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It honestly depends on what culture you're from, but there are points to like monogamy too.
Well, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
Like-
I'm just saying.
Evolutionarily, I mean.
It's fine.
I was half
Derailed.
expecting Tiki to be like, well, actually, and then we have another Tiki Taco
Well,
teaches moment. Oh, fuck.
I was going to do that, but you don't want to do Taco Teaches, and we're also here to talk about Fallout.
No, fuck it.
not
Taco
about
teaches
our
first.
ancestors fucking for evolutionary sex.
Taco teaches. Taco teaches. Taco teaches.
So, most animals in the animal kingdom mate for one mating season.
Well, yeah.
And if you take a look at human beings, we have more of a social structure than a lot of other animals do, and we place a lot more emphasis on social connections. So there's a lot in evolutionary psychology that kind of goes back to being faithful, having monogamy, and sort of dipping around while you're supposed to be monogamous, right? Like socially, you're supposed to be monogamous because you're, supposed to be investing in the future via your children, right? So if for women, women want to have a man that's not going to make babies with other people and focus on them, so that their child will get more attention, more resources, etc., so they can grow up to be bigger and better. All that shit.
Yes.
And then men, on the other hand, want to just go around and fuck everything that moves, have lots of babies because they don't really have to take care of it. They don't have to. As long as they've impregnated a bunch of people, they're done. They won, and they can die, and their lineage lives on.
They won.
So you have both of those constructs happening in human mating that are both going on at the same time. And then you also have cuckolding for women, which is I'll be with a man who is better able to provide monetarily and financially and all that stuff, but his genes probably suck ass, so I'm gonna go get with this other guy and have a baby with him, and then I'll have the other guy raise my baby.
I can't focus on what you said because you said cuckolding.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's called.
I thought it was cuckolding.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 out of 4.
Cuckolding. Cuckolding. It's like a clock.
Expert.
Cuckoldry. It's not cuckoldry. It's cuckoldry.
Cuckold. It's 5 o'clock.
Right. I mean, it's called cuckoldry because of the cuckoo bird.
Is it?
That's what they do.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Is this another?
I think
are we going?
This is bordering on not facts anymore. I'm feeling.
I'm not joking. So the cuckoo.
Oh God. Here we
it's
go.
called cuckoldry because listen, the female cuckoo bird will get impregnated and then lay its egg in another cuckoo bird's nest and have the other cuckoo birds raise the cuckoo chick.
Jesus Christ.
That's why it's called cuckoldry. And that's why the cuckoo bird.
So wait, all these fucking alt-right fucks are saying it wrong? They should be saying you're kooks?
Sure.
Because if it's not, because cuck is from cuckolding, but if it's not cuckolding, it's cuckolding, then they should be saying you're kooks. But I feel like that's a racial slur.
I mean, a kook is a crazy.
A kook is crazy.
Okay. I don't buy your argument.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good argument
Whoa.
either, because most dictionary, everything I've ever heard is cuckold, which maybe it's changed, maybe that's where it derived from, but English is fluid.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I say cuckoldry because that's how I.
Yo, that was a double tiki taco time.
Yeah, that was like a triple one because we started out with evolutionary psychology and then we went to the mating rituals of cuckoo, or at least laying eggs.
That was hot as fuck.
I know, right? Dude, how can you not get excited over cuckold?
I do. I'm getting very excited right now. Ooh. Okay. Shall we do this then? Let's do the actual thing we're here for. Although that was beautiful.
I don't even know what we're here for anymore.
Shit. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Take It Slow here, aka Clancy, aka Angry Porter, aka too many goddamn nicknames. And joining me tonight is Tiki Taco.
AKA Professor Taco.
AKA Professor Taco. Maximus Vaginus.
Hi.
And Zaya Z, not Zed.
I have notes.
She has notes. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about Fallout 76. That game we've probably, let's see, I have at least, I think, 100 hours into it at this point. You guys are probably maybe a little shy, like 80 or, I would say at least 60 hours for most of us. 60 hours and up. We've got a good... Yeah, we've got a good 70 episodes recorded. I don't know how many, like 25 live streams up of it. So we wanted to really take our time with this one because this game's got a lot of heat in the media, and I think a lot of it's justified. But a lot of the reviews also are coming from people who only played this game for a couple hours. They only played the beta. They only played, they only played solo. So we wanted to make sure we really did a in-depth playthrough of it before we gave our opinions, and we got some fucking opinions. So many.
Goddamn, boy, howdy doey.
So, yeah, I guess we should start with the things that this game does well, in my opinion, in our opinion. I mean, I guess the first thing for me is it's a co-op multiplayer Bethesda game, and that's kind of what I've always wanted. Playing Skyrim for literally probably thousands of hours, playing Fallout 4 for thousands of hours. One of the few things I was like, oh, it would be great to play this with a friend or with friends, very similar to Borderlands. And this game does it, and it even goes a step further. You're not only is it just 4 people, it's an entire server of people. I think it's up to 32 players in the server right now. I don't know if that'll get changed at any point. But, yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I absolutely. I hope this is a stepping stone to multiplayer Elder Scrolls that isn't like an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
And it plays a lot like Skyrim. It's just missing that NPC player story, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah, no, so I guess we're kind of already segueing into the future, but I will say I don't want this to be, I don't want every game to be like a big open world 32 player thing, but I would like it if, and we're probably in the minority here, but I would like it if the Elder Scrolls 6 had like a 4-player co-op feature, or Starfield had a 4-player co-op feature, because I think that was the only thing for me that was missing from Bethesda games. Although we're probably in the minority there, but sorry, I cut you
I'd
off
argue
next.
that any game that wants to go from the norm, go with their player base and go from a single player game and move on to multiplayer, they should at least give a single player option, which they took that away in this, which is sort of jarring. But we're sort of going into negatives when we should be. We're sort of talking about other stuff.
Well, that's okay though. You brought that up. I do think that's a fair point. Yeah, I think there should have been some sort of offline mode for this game. Although I wonder how they would have done it, given that everything's server side on Bethesda's end. But yeah, I mean I'm not too sure of how the technical aspects of it work, but that would just mean that there would have to be a client side. All the data would have to be client side.
They would have had to go into the game with that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think TQ is next up talking about the good stuff. What they did right. What they do right, Tiki? What they do right?
Hang on, moving my
nothing.
computer.
Okay.
Taco Man?
I'd say...
Hang on. Did we lose Taco Man?
Yeah, I died. I don't know what happened, but continue on like I was listening the whole time.
Oh, God. All right. So another thing I think they do very well is just environmental storytelling, and that's something that Bethesda's always done well, in my opinion. I can't tell you how many times, you walk into a room and there's like a skeleton face down in a toilet, and you're like, oh, so this happened here. And just the way they tell stories just with their environment, with like various random like assets doing random things, I think has always been Bethesda's strong suit. And given that this game is pretty much void of NPCs, or at least sort of human NPCs, I think that it really shines through in this game. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I think
like
it could have been better.
you can piece. You have to like maybe reach a little bit for some of the things that you come across, but that's sort of you're allowed to interpret kind of what goes on in your own way, so it kind of kicks off your imagination a little bit.
They're good at environmental storytelling, but it's definitely missing something. There's no definitive nature to it, which it sort of it breaks immersion, especially without having an NPC or anything else there to tell you. Like if there was some sort of achievement system in place, so when you climb, it's in place, but they don't have it. So when you climb a tower that looks crazy, you're like, "What is this freaking place?" You don't get to the top, and it's like, "Congratulations on." It doesn't give you anything. You might find a corpse on the ground. You're like, "Okay, so maybe somebody built this place, but why'd they build it?" Like you never get the full story behind it.
Well, I mean, there are notes.
Yeah.
My thing is,
maybe
like,
there are notes if you can find them.
I just think that it becomes a lot of the same. Like, I think some of the coolest buildings and stories are the ones that are very different, and I feel like that's very few. And there's a ton of the same house or the same school or the same little city building where it feels the same and it feels copied. I really liked the Super Mutant building. I like the Nuka-Cola factory. Like, those things definitely stand out, and I really like them. But I just wish that there was more of that, like, individuality, like the amusement park. Cool.
Yeah, the amusement park was pretty good. Trying to uncover the mystery of where little Timmy
fucking
Probably
kid.
wasn't Timmy, but
Timmy, Jimmy, whatever.
yeah, but
That
he
kid.
got kidnapped by a weird perv.
Although he didn't. He made it into the
Weird.
vault. If you finish the quest.
Everybody thought he got kidnapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he-
don't think I may
Are
have
we
finished
giving
the quest, but I
spoilers
wouldn't
to a
pay
different game?
attention.
I mean,
No?
never got to complete the quest because every time we went there, it was bugged.
Cold
So-
Case? You never finished Cold Case?
Wait, was that from the amusement park? That's
Yeah.
where we.
That's the quest Cold Case. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, maybe that's not the one I was thinking of. Never mind.
Okay. No worries, no worries. Okay, so let's see what else.
Wait, can I share my favorite stuff?
Yeah.
Things I think they did well. So I like that it is necessary to not just consume food, but make food. Because if you don't make food, then you don't get enough like appetite satiation. So I think that was really cool because I don't like games that have this huge cooking like thing and then you never need to cook food.
The food gives you buffs and stuff too, which there aren't very many ways to get buffs. So
And it's fun to like gather the stuff from the plants and stuff, and like you actually get to go use it when you cook with.
yeah, I wish I was a little bit more clear on where you could find that stuff.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah, like making food is definitely incentivized in this game. Like pretty much every cooked food gives you some sort of buff that can't otherwise be acquired. So yeah, I agree.
I also like that you can make your house. It's just nice to be able to have your own space in a game, and I think that they fixed a lot of the very jarring problems early on, which was appreciated.
Okay.
I
I
have one more thing.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I do like that there is the camp system in general. Yeah, what other game sort of allows you to? I guess the forest, kind of, but like, yeah. I mean,
Like aside from builder games, like this is an
Sure.
MMO, and you get your own space. Like
Yeah, we could go play Ark or whatever and do it, but that's not. I mean, it's a survival building, server, but it's not.
it's not like
It's different.
WoW.
Yeah, it's not story driven at all. But I mean, we'll get to that. But I don't think this is very
Right.
story driven either.
Sure. Tiki, were you gonna say something?
Wasn't really thinking about it. No.
Okay.
My very last favorite thing, and then I'll let everyone finish. I like the screenshots in the camera mode a lot. It's super satisfying to be able to take
Yeah.
pictures of things and have that be my loading screen. Because
That-
every
that
time I
one's
load,
for sure.
instead of being upset that it's taking so long to load, I'm thinking about the memory of that screenshot, which I think is really fun and engaging.
I think that they
Bless Max.
probably did the screenshot. Sorry, I think they did the screenshot thing the best in any game I've played in recent memory.
You can pose, you can buy new poses, there's frames, like I like it.
Yeah, it definitely does appeal to the Snapchat selfie generation, and I mean, 1 out of 4 of us here are girl, so girls love that shit.
Whoa, sir! Don't assume my gender.
Okay, 1 out of 4 of us are female.
But even without all of that, involved, it played off of things like the only other game that's had that same quality is probably like Pokemon Snap or whatever, where you see what you've done in the game and it's
Is
reflected
reflected.
on. Like,
Yeah. Like you like your actions in the game will like affect sort of your experience of it further on the line.
Yeah.
Like the
just
way
minor
you want it.
actions. Yeah, exactly. Was that it? Are you Lindsay? Is that the last thing?
Yeah, that was it. Well, I mean, there's other things too, but those are like the things that I think were
Sure.
my favorite.
Cool. Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna transition to shit we don't like yet. I was still gonna stay on that pros, but that's a good addition as well. Thank you, Z.
I'm hearing roboting. Am I coming into the robot?
No, that's him. That's the Zaxxas.
That's me?
Yeah, a little bit.
No, no robot Zaxxas, no!
It definitely helps when you do that.
Yeah, definitely
Well,
helps.
I don't think I'm going to be picking up myself as a robot, so I don't really care what you guys hear.
So, can I go next?
Yeah, Taco
Go
Go.
for it.
Okay, so things that I enjoyed about this were I liked the new. I don't like exactly how they implemented it, but I enjoyed the spirit of how they implemented like discovering mods and stuff. Um, like the crafting system in general, I thought was better than, let's say, Fallout 4's or New Vegas's or whatever. Like, in order to get more mods for weapons and armor, you had to scrap current versions of them. It made for, like, like the hunting rifle in the early game. You got so many of those from killing a bunch of super mutants and stuff like that. You got a bunch. You could like I loved stockpiling because I'm a hoarder. I loved stockpiling a bunch of like hunting rifles so that I could take them apart and kind of like figure out what they were doing. And they're like, oh, cool, I got this new mod that I can do for this now because I took so many of these apart. I know how it works. Like that flavor in the game kind of spoke to me a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like
And-
that.
And I also, it was refreshing the perk card system in a way because of how you could just kind of like switch everything out and you had to kind of like make builds. Leave something to be desired for things like balance for carry weight and shit like that, but we kind of talked that to death. But I mean, I enjoyed the idea of what they did to implement things like the healer system, right? Like, I could jack myself up with a stim pack, and now you get a stim pack, and you get a stim pack. Like, I enjoyed that aspect of it too, and trying to min-max my my stats and trying to to fill the role that I wanted to fill. Like a lot of the sort of like busy stuff, things like with the crafting and stuff like that, like it allowed me to fill a role in the role-playing game that you don't really get in the other Fallouts and Skyrim and stuff like that. I think, anyway.
Yeah, no, like in both Skyrim and Fallout 4, you get to a point where you're just, like we joke about being Asgardians, but you're literally like a god amongst the world. And it's sort of, you are all roles, nothing can kill you unless you just jump off a building. So,
Right. It's impossible in Fallout 76 for your character to, unless you build to like level 300 and you respec 4 different times, like you can't fill all the roles. It's not possible.
not at any given moment, right?
Right. So, you do kind of have to like pick a path and go with it. I mean,
how though? How do you mean that? Like, you can technically craft everything. You might not be able to craft the best, the highest durability item, because that's really what you get with the highest intellect. But you could, with 3 intellect or 5 intellect, you could technically use the gunsmith call.
Sure, but you're not going to be able to use any. You're not going to be able to expertly use any rifle or any shotgun or any pistol or any melee weapon without speccing into it. So you do sort of have to commit to a role. And
but does your gun define your role then? Is that what we mean by role?
Kinda. I mean, the weapon that you use kind of defines what role you're going to play in their group. And like within the sort of perk system and within the greater sort of plan for the game, I think there are perk cards in Charisma that allow you to be a suppressor, right? So like when I could have a rapid fire gun that doesn't deal very much damage, but the point isn't for me to deal the damage. The point is for me to hit the thing so it deals less damage to you and it takes more damage from you. There is that possibility in the Charisma tree. and that would be really effective for a healer, right? So if I'm the medic or whatever,
Medic.
and I want to have a machine gun, like a pipe rifle, right? With because like 38 rounds are fucking everywhere in the game. You know, if I have this pipe rifle and it's not dealing a lot of damage, but I put those cards on me so that I slow the creature or I slow the thing, it deals less damage to everybody. And then y'all can dogpile it easier, right? Like that makes me again fill a role that you guys can't unless you max out your charisma tree. Which, if you do that, you can't be the best strength person. You can't be the most tanky. You can't be the sniper. Like you can't fill those roles
That's true.
in the same character.
Ultimately, I think some of those cards, though, are meant for everybody to spread out a little bit. Like, you could probably use that with 2 or 3 charisma. So that might be used for someone with a shotgun that's always hitting but not doing much damage at range. And that gives someone with a shotgun a reason to go into charisma a little bit. Because you're so stacked in charisma just to get this stuff to heal everybody and, like, not use all your stim packets while doing it. I can't imagine you have much space to get much else, right?
Well, yeah, but that's me filling the role in the group where my the way that I built my character when we started playing Fallout 76 was mostly charisma to get supportive perk cards. And then when I go out on my own and you guys aren't around, I'm kind of much less strong than everybody else because most of my perk cards were like EMT, bodyguard, right? Like all of these things require you to be in a group to even work. And if I'm out by myself, my character's shit now.
Yeah.
You guys didn't experience that because you didn't put a whole lot of perk cards into charisma at the start of the game.
Oh, I get it. I don't feel like I do much damage without everybody else around either. I can cripple things, and that's fun in its own way. But
yeah,
that's sort of my role.
Cripple it. Cripple it so I can come hit it with a hammer for a lot.
Everyone wait for Z to get here so she can get some XP on it.
Yeah.
That's sort of my role, is to make sure to catch everybody up.
So yeah, that's kind of what I enjoyed sort of the most about the perk system, and like this felt like a true role-playing game.
Don't say that. Downvoted on Reddit.
I don't know if I'd say it's a true role-playing game.
Yeah,
I'd say other games. I'd say like Borderlands does the role-playing game better because each character is a role. It's a tank. It's a builder. It's something. Whereas everything in this is really blended. Like I'm the ammo crafter, whereas you're the crafter. I'm the ammo crafter. So like, we each have our. It's not necessarily a clear defined role.
You're taking the word role playing like literally. Role playing, like the genre of role playing is storytelling, and it's playing through a storyline, and that to me is like that.
I guess so.
That is not what I got from this game. I would say if you want a good role playing game, go play BioShock, play Kingdom Hearts, play Borderlands. Play
hang on. Role playing is not necessarily playing through like a story though. So, like, this is a role-playing game. It's just a different kind. And I think what Tiki, correct me if I'm wrong, Tiki, but I don't think he necessarily meant role, like, tank, healer, medic thing. But, like, you can literally role-play, like, who you want to be in this world. And that was,
Oh, you can be,
Yeah,
okay,
like, that's something that you actually kind of don't have in a Fallout 4, where you're the sole survivor, in Skyrim, where you're the Dragonborn. You already sort of have this predestiny, for lack of a better term, thrust upon you. Whereas in this, you can kind of, all you are is a vault dweller, set loose.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, granted,
it is a role-playing, but I wouldn't say it did it very well.
Agreed. I don't think they did it well at all. We can get to that later, but like that is sort of, I feel like what this game was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And you can feel it, what it's trying to be.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, I get it.
This is a good topic. I don't want to get to it quite yet, though. I still have a few other good things I want to talk about. Ironically, I think the world design in general is pretty good. You have like 4 or 5 unique individual zones. They're all like, and as far as like a post-apocalyptic goes, it's fairly colorful.
Yeah.
It's mostly good. There are some weird spots where, in fact, I don't want to bring in another review, but based off what I read on another review, there were 2 different teams making some of the textures, and you can see in certain areas the clear difference in resolution in some of the textures.
Oh, okay.
That's sort of weird, and it's clear that they outsourced, they pushed deadlines or something to make that happen.
But it is for a dead world. I thought it was really pretty as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and even the sorry, Zay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's really hard for me to enjoy a game that doesn't look good. I'm really shallow that way, so it was good.
I was just gonna say, even like Ash Heap, which is sort of your more post-apocalyptic look, like even Ash Heap has its own sort of beauty. Like it's post-apoc, and it's literally like where all the mines were, and that got like nuked, and now it's all the soot's like rising and is in the air. But then you go into the mansions there, and it's like this whole other thing. And I like. Oh, you hate Ash Heap? That's probably the place we spent the most time in. Yeah.
Yeah, the world definitely had a good flavor.
Oh yeah, I'd say they did a good job giving you enough texture, like a taste of everything. You can really explore and feel like you're exploring a state.
That's what kept me playing. That's what kept my interest in it as we continued to go, because there was a lot to do, or at least a lot to look at.
It does end up becoming a lot samey though, like especially the way that they feed it to you. Like, oh, go to talk to this machine now. Wait in front of this machine for 45 seconds while it talks to you.
That's different
than
now
run
the
outside
design,
and kill this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. But like you go into a building, and oftentimes once you go inside of the building, unless we're not considering the zones inside of buildings and stuff as part of the world design, each one sort of felt the same. So like,
yeah,
even if you're inside of a mine, sometimes you go deep enough into a mine, it feels like you're inside a building again. You're like, what the fuck's happening?
Yep, I hear you. So also for positives, I wrote down here, there's a wide variety of enemies, and a lot of them are unique to this game. Like the anglers and the gulpers, those are from Fallout 4 Far Harbor, but you didn't see them in the main game, so I'm glad they brought those back. Then, of course, there's the super mutants, which some people have a problem with lore-wise, but I'm always glad to see super mutants. There are the ghouls, of course, which I like. The Fallout 4 and Beyond ghouls are a lot scarier and way more like animated and active than Fallout 3 ghouls. And then you have the mole miners, the wendigos, the crab in a box, which made Max poop his pants a little.
Oh yeah, that thing.
The Mothman.
The Mothman.
Yeah, the Mothman. Although we haven't even ran into the real Mothman. Yeah, we haven't ran into the real one yet, but
the actual moth.
Yeah, the actual moth things. Yeah.
Then there's that weird alien thing that we saw a few times.
Yeah, which we can never catch.
What was that called?
There's the Yao Gao bears.
Oh yeah, the Yao Gao bears.
Yeah, the Yao Guai have been in all of them, but I like them regardless. Yeah.
I like most of the all the creatures, even the Scorched, are fun to go against.
Agreed. I mean, I do think there should have been a Raider faction, but I didn't mind the Scorched. Like people were talk a lot of shit about the Scorched, like fucking uninteresting. It's like, well, no, the Scorched are pretty interesting. They're like this weird ghoul hive mind thing that still uses guns. Like that's, I don't know. I like the Scorch. I'm Team Scorch.
Also, like you need a basic trash for any game, and so why not? Like, I think they're pretty good to fill that role.
Well, it's not only just basic trash. I never played any other Fallout games, which might be. I will probably cover this later. Might be part of the problems that I have with the game. It's not very friendly to someone that's new to the series, but I think it's good having a big bad. there's a lot of different factions. They're fighting against each other, but they all have like this big bad that's attacking everybody, sort of fucking everybody's shit up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and yeah, all the creatures do fight themselves in this game.
Yeah, they do.
Scorch will fight ghouls, who will fight super mutants, who, I mean, they sort of retconned it a little bit there. Super mutants and ghouls actually used to get along, but whatever. We don't like this game because it follows canon, or half like this game because it follows canon. Oh shit. Okay, well that was sort of all the pros I had. Although I put down here, it just nails the Fallout feel, which NPCs aside, because we will get to that. I think again, just for the world, like it does feel like a Bethesda design Fallout world.
Yeah.
When it's working, the world feels great. You go in and kill monsters. It's responsive. You're like doing damage. There's critical zones. You can disable them. You can shoot weapons out of their hands. All that stuff's great when it's responding.
But he's saying it feels like Fallout.
I know, but I'd say that's part of the thing. Is like that first person shooter feel isn't that big part of what Fallout is.
I mean, like, there's like the general vibe you get when you're playing the game, and the way
I
the
guess
story
I just don't know
unfolds.
the post-epoch
Yeah,
story,
I
so
guess-
I can't comment on that.
Yeah, I guess so. For you, this is sort of your first Fallout game, so I guess this sort of just feels like what it feels like to you. Wow.
Yeah, well,
But this did feel like it does feel like Fallout 4 essentially in West Virginia with multiple people playing, and I like that. That again, despite how much it failed in many other respects, that is what I wanted.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great having the multiplayer. Yeah.
I have another positive,
Okay.
and this one is very big for me.
Okay.
The clothes that you can find in the game and that are in the store, they give me a lot of joy. And there's a lot of clothes that you can only get in certain areas of the world, or by killing certain things or looking in a certain box. And like you can always find them because someone else got them. So I really like that, like hide and seek kind of like you're searching for treasures, and it's like a cool clothing item. I'm vain, so I really like that. I really disliked that I had to wear my suit all the time. I didn't get to show my clothes off, but
That suit should have been underneath. It shouldn't have been on top.
Oh, I think she means
no,
your power
my
armor. Yeah.
my power armor.
Oh, your powers. Oh, yeah.
Also, you can change your appearance at any time, which, again, I am vain, and I really, really like that. I haven't had a game that just let me, first of all, do it at any point in the game. I could be anywhere, save for sitting down, and I can change my appearance without an in-game currency. And it's just really nice. I like it a lot.
Agreed. Yeah, and I mean, not even just an in-game currency. I mean, WoW used to charge you to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. You look at
$15.
when you look at Grand Theft Auto, and you don't even really get to pick your character's looks. It's just sort of like
Oh,
pseudo
yeah.
picking.
Fuck that shit.
Design your parents.
I want to design what I look like based on how my parents look like. This is a fun system. All right. Well, shall we do it? Shall we dive into the cons or what bothered us or our critiques?
Can we keep it positive for one more thing? I have a question for you all.
Yes.
Yes.
What is your favorite memory?
Ooh. Ooh.
I'll start with mine. What do you guys think?
Okay.
I think my favorite memory was, I think it was like when we were putting my first house down, and like shit hit the fan, and that was a really fun time. And then also the people that started following your channel because they like Fallout, like it made it a lot of fun to like have people on the other end and they're talking, and I don't know, that was really nice.
Agreed. Yeah, we got some cool homies watching us, and I hope they stick around when we play other shit.
Yeah.
Like, nah, just here for Fallout. Bye, bros. It's like, bye, Ravix. We miss you. in like 15 seconds in chat wrap, I was gonna be like, "What the fuck, man?
Yep.
I was just trying to get through one live stream without being called out. Fuck!" You'll never get through it. We're always gonna call you out,
We
Rabix.
may never see him again.
We're gonna have 1,000 views, and we're like, Rabix. Like, God damn it! I thought I was safe in numbers. Tiki and Levi are having like a good old brofest in chat right now. It's adorable.
Yeah, I'm finally talking. It's like I've never had an opportunity to like look at your channel while we stream them.
Ah, shit. All right, let's do it. Let's hit this bad boy where it hurts.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
You guys have to tell your
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
memory. What the fuck?
Okay, so I got a favorite story or a favorite memory that we had. When we were in the burning mine and shit went bananas because we were all completing the quest at the same time and we got absolutely flooded with score. That was pretty fun.
High level
because
scorched, way too high level,
Yeah.
which
that
ironically
was
turned out
fun.
to be challenging.
Right. It was fun because it was challenging and it made us have to actually like work together and do stuff. And that is probably a good segue into one of the things I didn't enjoy was that, I mean, it was kind of simple and not fun. So like that particular moment that we had where we were just flooded and we like had to really scramble to figure out, like, come up with a plan on the fly and start hawking grenades everywhere and popping stim packs so everybody doesn't die. That was fun because it was challenging.
I agree. I agree with both sentiments. I was actually literally going to say fucking the Fire Breathers event for that exact reason. Fuck. God damn it.
We're connected, Stovetop.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first time we went into White Spring when it was radiated, but we actually could do
Oh
that.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wait, before we could do it, or
No,
we could?
when we finally sort of could, and we had our suits, we went there, and like, it was the intro to one of the videos for a little while there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, when we fought all those
That
ghouls.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the glowing ghouls. Yeah,
Which
I
again
was just running
were,
around like a maniac.
yeah, which
it was
were
crazy.
harder for us. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ironically, yeah. So I guess when we killed our first Scorch Beast for me, because ironically I was gonna say the Fire Breathers quest that Tiki brought up, but yeah, pretty much all. It seems like all our favorite moments are when the game was actually kind of challenging.
I forgot about the Scorch Beast. Might also that's close. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
because it
We
had
just
been-
like madness, is what I'm learning.
yeah, well, because it had been harassing us for so long, and we spent most of the game up until that point running from him, and then we were running from it at that point, but we were just like, oh, we could actually kill this thing, and I was just like, fuck it, let's do it, and we were like, okay, and we did
I
it.
take back mine. I agree with you. I think the Scorch Beast is my favorite because it wasn't just that. It's like the only real boss fight, and besides like the actual Scorch Beast boss fight, the same fight that we get. We had to like figure out what the phases are. It's gonna take back off again. Like, how do we get him back down?
Yeah.
Like,
It,
how
like-
do we dodge this attack?
Yeah, it was doing attacks we didn't understand. It was just exciting.
Yeah, it's just that boss fight, like that first popping your cherry on a boss fight.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
We didn't even know if we could do it.
No, we didn't.
Well,
That's what we did in raids though too. We just go into a boss fight and let's see what he does, and then we get wiped and like, okay, let's try.
and the Scorch Beast, the Scorch Beast Queen the other night was like that too. Although it was I feel like it was a little less interesting for us, Max, because we had already done it before.
It's not just that; it's the same fight as the Scorch Beast.
Yeah, true.
And it really doesn't feel like
Just
your
a-
individual progress means anything there. It's
Yeah.
just about. It's just like going into AQ40 with 40 people. Your individual strength doesn't matter because there's 40 people fucking off.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and that's what happened the other day when there's only 4 of us there. It was
Yeah,
like,
it was a lot.
we like kind of literally can't do this. We just literally don't have the manpower.
it's just not enough DPS. It'll take us 2 hours, and I'm running
we
out of
run
ammo.
Yeah. Shit. Well, there's all our happy moments. Now let's do this. It's only been 50 minutes, guys. Are you ready to do the con section?
Can we keep it like brief and not harp on things for too long? Because I think we harp enough when we were playing the game. It just doesn't feel good.
No, I'm not going to restrict anyone's speech.
Okay, fine, go.
I can keep most of my criticisms. I mean, we can harp all day on minute things about that we didn't like about the game, but I have a pretty concise.
Okay, okay, Taco, hit us.
Yes, because after basically when I'm done talking about this, I'm like, I don't have any more points that are of any note. So Bethesda built this game up and marketed it as sort of a revolutionary, we've never done this before, you've never seen this before, and built a lot of hype around it about what you could do. It was like there was so much speculation about what could be going on and stuff like that. And then what we ended up getting felt so neutered. They didn't take any risks. I don't think any legitimate risks. I feel like they tried to make this appeal to everybody, and in doing so, really, it didn't scratch any itches.
Mhm.
Really, you know what I mean? Like if people had some, if this game, I don't think fills much of a niche, which is what it felt like it was going to do.
Yeah. Well, and like
Yeah.
we were talking about earlier, like I do think it is a role playing game for the reasons I described earlier, but it doesn't really. This game doesn't really let you. Like, if you want to be a trader, how the fuck are you going to do that? Like,
Here,
Yeah.
if you want to be a raider, how the fuck are you going to do that? Like, it really doesn't let you role play in the way that Bethesda wants people to role play. They said there would be no NPCs in this game because players would fill the roles of NPCs, and then they don't let players fill the role of NPCs.
In really any appreciable way, you know, there really is nothing that you can do as an NPC. Like my sort of, I want to say almost masturbatory fantasy when I was thinking about what Fallout 76 was the EVE Online of post-apocalyptic Fallout worlds, right? Like that sort of like, you know, oh my god, people could run everything, and you could have clans, and you could have, you know, none of that. None of it happened.
That's interesting that you say EVE Online, because one of the things that EVE Online has is an in-game market. And I swear I heard them say that you could have your own store. Like I swear somewhere along the way they insinuated that you could set up like a shop where you could have things for sale. And that would be awesome in this game if there was just like a vending machine that you stocked and then other people could buy from.
So I'll pick it up from there. I'd say the game wasn't complete. They sold us a AAA game. It's not AAA. It wasn't completely thought out. It wasn't completely finished as far as coded, because it's legitimate. You're right as far as the concerns. I do think it has a niche. They're trying to fill a niche, but if they would have given us NPCs, it would have gotten there. Or if they would have let us fill that role of NPCs, if they would have made it so it was dedicated servers, so we hosted the servers instead of them having control, so we could mod it or whatever else.
Yeah.
Any number of things they could have done to make it more complete and let us have control of it, but instead they took the balls off of it and they made it
Really did.
incomplete.
Yeah, instead of getting, you know, a really shiny, like, you know, things that you can customize, and it was just kind of like you get this kind of generic thing that you can play with how you want to play with it, but you can't really do anything substantial with it. Like, it felt like there's so much that you could have done with it, and it's just there's nothing to really do.
It feels like a trailer. It feels like they're trying to tease us to the next game.
Well,
But
Max, I think
it's not AAA.
what you and I were saying, I think a couple weeks ago, it feels like an early access game.
Yeah, no,
And I think
absolutely. It just doesn't feel complete. It's not finished.
Yeah. Yep, agreed.
And really, like, that's it. I mean, everything else, in my opinion anyway, we could, you know, argue about, like, oh, this is broken and this is buggy, and like, yeah, that doesn't all really matter at the end of the day, because that could sort of be fixed. You can tweak things for balance. You can do all of that, but for what it is right now, there's just not a whole lot that you can really do with it, and it felt like there could have been so much more. And I feel like they took the safe way out to appeal to everybody, and in the process appealed to really nobody.
But honestly, if
Except
they
for
would
maybe
have,
hardcore Fallout fans.
that would have been fine. If they would have finished it though, running around towns and seeing monsters running around like floating, not actually being there, or trying to play with your friends, and them being ghosts and naked, those are all really big problems with the game.
I mean, they sure jump you out, break you out of your immersion, but I mean, you could still fix those. Like for what it is right now, until you add features or fundamentally change the way the game works.
It's 2 months in.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't be. It should be fixed.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay. So also, they are apparently coming out with a patch that lets you mark your camp on your map. So I believe that's intended to help player trading. And Zaya, you're right. I do remember hearing about the store. But you know, that should have been in launch. That was advertised before launch. That was advertised as part of the game. It shouldn't have been it.
But you don't even have storage. You only have your personal stash. You don't have. It's not like a Foot
Yeah.
Locker anywhere that you can store all your stim packs or something to buy from you.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it speaks to just Bethesda's seemingly laziness. I hate to call it laziness because I don't think the people that made this game are lazy, but like, you know, when you're porting in bugs that were in Fallout 4, I don't know what else to call it than that.
It's so just speaking as a like from an engineering student's perspective, they always harp on us so much about project management, and it's really like poor project management is something that ruins all businesses, all projects, everything. This game didn't have someone or a good structure for these things to work out, and that is what's missing here.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's not managed well.
I
There's
think I said that.
definitely talent. Yeah, no, we've said this before,
Yeah.
but there's definitely talent there. This is a good game, but there's a process that's missing to get all the bugs out, to finish the game and see, like, are we delivering what we said we were going to deliver? Like,
Oh,
that's it's all
absolutely.
missing.
There is great talent, like we're saying, with the writing and everything. They have great writers. They have everything there. It's just not done.
It's missing the
Missing the-
glue that holds everything together.
Yeah.
Makes it something that's greater than the whole of the sum of it. The whole is greater sum of its parts.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
whatever.
Yeah, it's not there. It's not even equal to the sum of its parts.
And it doesn't have the goodwill either to make it you ignore the problems.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you charge $60 for a game and then you fuck up your Ultimate Edition by sending people nylon bags instead of canvas bags, and then you have microtransactions, and then you dox people who have a ticket open, I mean, you very quickly
And you
lose.
You half
lose
the
good.
price of the game within a month.
Yeah.
If you like GTA 5, it's still $50 today. It might have. It's maybe gone on sale like 3 or 4 times since it's been out. Like that's a good game, though. You know, that's the difference. If it's a good game, you have respect in it. You don't do that to yourself. They don't respect their game, and it's just clear.
Yep.
Sad.
So yeah, I do have a lot of critiques here that, you know, I guess we are right. We have harped on a lot. A lot of people have harped on. Like, I think the combat's kind of janky and boring. Like for melee, you have 3 buttons. I mean, but I guess we shouldn't dwell on that too long. It's buggy as hell. I mean, we could spend an hour talking about all the bugs. I mean, you guys don't see it, but I was just at this elevator, the monorail elevator in the southeast of the map. I tried to take the elevator up, and it just shoots you back down to the first level. But it's just stupid little bugs like that. The game's filled with them.
And the problem is too. I was thinking about this. I was enjoying the game a bit more when I was playing by myself. It's because I was experiencing the bugs less often. I was experiencing them a quarter as often because there was a quarter less people I was playing with. It's just me. Every time we're playing together, we're always experiencing the bugs because it's 4 times as likely that we'll run into them.
Yeah. You'll never see diaper slender person bug if you're playing alone. Although you might if you run across somebody else, but yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else. Yeah, I mean, there's the lack of NPCs. That's been beaten to death in how many reviews. I mean,
They could have gotten away with it if they would have done it right. It's just like I don't think it's terrible to harp on it. They just didn't do it right.
Sure. I don't think. I think having very few NPCs would have been fine, but we needed just some. We needed some, and there are.
Yeah, and robots.
Robots aren't enough. Yeah.
Was he?
As far as NPCs are concerned, like, it would have been much better at role playing, much better at getting a story across if there was NPCs to react to your presence in the world. It would have made it feel so much more in depth. Like, if there's someone that like walks around and then like it's like, oh, there's someone. And like, even if they're like delirious and just walking around and talking to no one, but just like recognize that you're there. And like, they're like, I can't find my glasses. Will you find my glasses in that building? You know, like, this little quest, it doesn't have to be a lot, but just something would have made it so much better. Like a little bit of that Skyrim, you know?
Yeah.
Where like the guards start talking to you.
Sorry, there is one NPC, at least that we've encountered, and he's the super mutant trader. And everyone loves him because he's the only fucking NPC.
Yeah, you cannot make any sort of emotional connection to a robot, even a super mutant, and even the stupid thing in the game, right? Like what made Fallout games and all sort of RPG games enjoyable to play was that they're characters in a universe, but you make a connection with them, and it's not the same with robots ever. It's just never.
Ooh.
I can see how they could have gotten scared off by NPCs in this though. Like, it's a multiplayer game. If I kill Joe Blow and you didn't kill Joe Blow, or we join a new server and Joe Blow's alive again, it breaks immersion. But it's not like they're holding on to that immersion anyway. It's not like they have a good excuse to omit it. So.
The other part of not having NPCs too is that in every quest, it's not going to, like every quest that we had, certainly in the beginning of the game, was, oh my god, let's pick up a holotape, and we're gonna listen to this person's story for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna like follow the quest line so we can go meet Joe Schmo, and we already know he's dead. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's dead. Yeah, exactly.
It's wanting us. The robots are wanting us to go like help them. We became firefighters. We like went through this whole program like just as like life is proceeding as normal, which I think is kind of cool because the robots don't know any better, and that's like the point. But it's just like, this is pointless.
Yeah, why are we doing this? That's exactly it. Why are we doing this? That's the whole feeling of the game.
This is Max's whole feeling of the game. Why are we doing this? Ah, shit.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, sort of going off that, the storytelling. I mean, we've talked about this plenty, but the holotape storytelling is not enough. Ironically, the game. I don't know if you agree with this, Max. I don't know who else has played this game solo, but I actually learned and experienced more of the story playing this game solo as opposed to playing with you guys, because there's all the text-based narrative in this game, but you sort of gloss over it when you're playing with people, especially if you're talking with people, and yeah, it's just a bad way to tell a story. I don't know. To have the voice actor rambling for 2 minutes or scrolling through text in a game. Like, I'm already sitting at a computer. I don't want to have to fucking read text in a computer on a computer. Like,
that being said, I like the idea of just being able to run across the holotape and play it, but 2 minutes is too long. The rambling is out of control. Like, it could have been a 30-second clip, a 20-second clip. There's a lot you can say in 20 seconds. it doesn't need to be 2 minutes of them rambling on about like
You
how
have
their
to-
cat isn't coming back.
and you have to listen to the whole fucking thing for the quest to.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Give me a root canal, please.
Yeah, that was any NPC that gave a quest too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
Max. I
doesn't
think
complete
I
when you
forget
start
which
it.
one we did it for. But yeah, we were this robot's like giving us a quest, and we're literally there like fighting things, killing shit around it, and it's still talking at the end, and we still haven't gotten the quest yet. It's like, what the fuck? Just fuck. Yeah. Okay. All right. We already talked about that. Not enough systems in place to properly role play. I put there's no hub for people to socialize and meet at. I mean,
Yeah.
people thought Fallout 76 would fulfill that role. Nope.
There's no way to socialize
Yeah.
besides chat.
Yeah.
Like you have to use Mumble or you have to know people. There's really no way to meet people in game unless you're using voice chat, which
Yeah, you can shout "Hi, friend" at them.
yeah, like it's just full of trolls or children. Like that's the first thing I turn off in any game. And in all honesty, I don't pay attention to story in a lot of games anymore, so I shouldn't really complain.
So
It's not like It's not like I'm sitting there and reading everything in any other game. Oftentimes, like XCOM, I've just been fucking spacebarring through the stories because I'm sitting there wanting to play the actual tactics. Like that's the part of the brain I want to use is the tactics brain, not reading shit brain.
I don't mind reading shit, but if I was reading shit, I want it to be important shit that is like it tells me where there's a secret chest in like the basement, and
Yeah.
it tells me the code for that. I want
Nah.
that to be what I read.
Not like Pebbles ran away and I'll never see her again.
Yeah, or like it's a note, but all of a sudden because I read this note, I unlocked a mod. I love that shit.
Yeah, if it was rewarding, I'd be into it. But generally, it's not rewarding. And I honestly have the same problem with Skyrim too. There's like 300 or something books in that game, and I've paged through every single one of them. I haven't read a single fucking word on any of them.
Oh, I have.
But I've had to
Like-
page through every single one because of various other things.
That's the part of the role playing game that you kind of like. If you have to almost internally value it, like the story bits that don't have any like monetary value or any sort of reward for them. Like you have to just want them to want them
But
for
what's
what they.
what's so funny is I generally do want them sometimes, but what I do when I want those, I don't read those books. I just go on a wiki and find the bits that I find interesting. Because generally, reading that little book, I might find something on one page interesting, and I feel like it's a waste of my time. You have to read like one page each from 4 different books to find a story find the whole story out of something that you're interested in. Maybe you're, I don't know. Blah blah blah.
Blah.
That's all. You know. Not related to this, so that's just the way I do games. I don't really. I'm bad at listening to the story anymore.
Getting old, man.
Eh?
All right, so let's talk about something that we all struggled with. Although Tiki came to the game a little later than us. Fucking
Yeah.
carry weight.
Yeah.
He came to the game later, but fucking he struggled with it harder than anybody else.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I figured I still like. The more that we went on with it, and the more that I got to actually like. The problem is I didn't take time between play sessions to really manage my inventory.
Because it
the
takes
way
so
I
much
should have
time to
been.
do.
Exactly. And so yeah, it is stupid that you have to manage all that stuff. And you know, if they had a better way of sorting some of the things, like everything in aid was chems and food and stim packs and water. Like if
Yeah.
they had done a better job of like being able to split what did what, then I think I would have had a much easier time because I'm looking through, you know, if I'm hungry, if I'm thirsty, I'm kind of going for the standard stuff that I know that I have a bunch of, like, oh, purified water or canned dog food. Like those are the things I know I have a bunch of, so I'm just going to use those. And I would collect everything, and then it would spoil, and then I'd have a bunch of spoiled vegetables and shit in my. Like I didn't get to use them.
I totally agree, and it comes down to the same thing we were talking about earlier. I realize it's a port. It's all built off of fucking Xbox or PlayStation or whatever else, and it's so dependent on that interface. It's so difficult to rely on. It's or use. Like you can't filter things. It doesn't give you enough information to actually plan on. Really, not easily. You have to go through it one by one to see when's this gonna expire. When's this gonna expire?
I think that's a good point, but most of that shit doesn't weigh a lot. And it doesn't. There's a lot of shit in your bags that don't weigh anything. So like in total, I think maybe a fifth of my weight is for that random shit. The rest of my weight is the few weapons, the few pieces of armor, my power armor.
You say that.
It's
I mean,
it's true.
It collects
really
though.
quick.
No, not
Yeah.
0.001 weight.
Yeah, but that's
It
not what
does not.
everything weighs.
No, but-
Water
Yeah.
weighs 0.2. And if
Yeah.
you're carrying 20 of that, and you're carrying 20 stims, and you're carrying 20
But
stim
I'm
diluteds,
not.
0.5 for me. You guys are fucking lucky.
well, whatever. I don't remember what it was off the top.
It's
of my
like
head.
half a
I thought it
pound for a pure
I
5
thought it was
water.
0.2, but
But like
Like a
when I
pound per
pare
stim.
everything down to just everything I want on me, all the aid that I need on me, like I really strip it out. It's still my weapons, my armor, and my power armor that just take up so much of my goddamn shit. And if I want to carry anything with me back that I find to put in my stash to save for later, I have to be overcumbered for it.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did it. I think I did the best out of everybody by the end, and the
Yeah.
lowest I could get down to in weight was like 120, which and I got a bunch of extra carry weight, so I got up to like 220 without having an armor on. So I had 100 pounds to play with at maximum to be able to load up. Like, that's not very much, really.
Yeah, that's like 4 or 5 decent sized weapons.
Or you accidentally pick up a bunch of missiles and you're fucked.
Or
Well, that's why
Or you do an
Porto
event and they
early
give
on-
you 8 missiles.
Yeah.
I love it early on though. Porto was like, I just use all the missiles and then I drop it, and I've done that since, and it's the best. It's the best way because you
Yeah,
have a lot of fun continually.
But that
exactly.
means
get 'em
that
out
you're
of there.
carrying around a rocket launcher.
For like
no, I dropped the rocket
minutes.
launcher.
Sometimes I get missiles without the launcher. Sometimes I get the
that's-
launcher without the missiles.
I always get them together.
Oh, that's
haven't
Yeah, usually
I feel
missiles
like
come
more-
with a NPC who has a missile launcher. But no, Max, you're right. Sometimes events will give you random shit, and a bunch of the times it's like a mini nuke, 6 missiles. It's like, why are you giving me the heaviest shit to a gun? Fuck off.
yeah. I can't even scrap it.
And granted,
If I can scrap it, fine.
there are. I guess we can sort of use this to transition into another critique I have for the game. There are perks that make the carry weight manageable, but it's the fucking laziest, most annoying way to play this game. I want to be able to carry more shit. Okay, I'll get these perk cards. That's a fun, interesting way to play this
In
game.
my build, there aren't cards. I can't because they're all strength, and I'm using like 13 of my 15 cards on
Shotguns.
just trying to make my shotgun worthwhile.
Sure.
I have no space.
Well,
It's a
you said manageable. It doesn't fix the problem.
Exactly, yeah.
If you're gonna devote so much, if you're gonna make a build out of the perk
yeah,
thing,
seriously.
like it better fix the goddamn
You
problem
should-
where you are omnipotent. You don't have to wear your power armor. Everything weighs like nothing,
Yeah.
and you have like 400 carrying capacity. But it doesn't. It just makes it not so much a problem. Which I would say, also doesn't make it not so much a problem. Not caring about being overcumbered and just dropping a lot of shit anytime you need fast travel, because that's what I do.
So shitty.
It's not. I've learned to live with it.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just so.
There was a learning curve, no doubt, at the
bad.
beginning where we didn't quite know what we should be looting and not. But I still stand
Especially
by the statement that the carry weight mechanic is the hardest survival mechanic in this game, and it's also the most unfun.
They
What-
should have just made mobs, like a ridiculous groups of like ghouls just all of a sudden come rampage you. That would have been way more fun than carry.
Arguably, what makes it the hardest is your stash not having infinite carry weight either. Because it's not like you can even stash it everywhere. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh,
Obvi-
I'll sort this later. I'm going to dump it all. It's,
Well,
oh, my stash is full. I'm full. Everything's full. Fuck me. I'm going to log out because I don't feel like dealing with this.
yeah. Obviously, I don't think infinite is possible, but they started with
You can at
400.
least
That
have-
was garbage. I think it needed to be at least 1,000, and I think it still needs to
Yeah.
be at least 1,000. 600's okay because we were used to 400, but
I
You
think
should
so
be able
too,
to
yeah.
craft and upgrade them, or like
that.
do a quest and you get a better stat.
That. Or you should be
like-
able to make footlockers, or you should be able to make several.
You should be rewarded for playing the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to do that, then just reduce the carry weight of shit.
Well, there's
Mm.
that.
They,
That's
Make
a-
my bracers weigh fucking 15 pounds because I'm not going to put something on my arm that weighs 15 pounds.
There's a good argument to that too.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
I could
Well-
wrap my arm in metal and it could be 4 pounds.
At the same time, though, when they're called lead bracers, they should weigh 50.
Okay, well, I don't. Yeah, okay.
Because some things are called lead bracers,
True.
and you look at them and go, "Okay, cool. It gives you 1 radiation resist." Are you kidding? Like I'm wearing a 15-pound bracer to give me 1 radiation resist. Why is this?
Fucking carry weight. Carry weight has been the AIDS for all of us in this goddamn game.
Oh, yeah.
Or like, okay, if you're a person and you're walking down the road,
I'm
I'm
not
a
a
person.
person. I don't know how to identify.
you can say you take off everything you're wearing, like
Ooh, okay.
your water bottle, and you shove it all into a backpack. That backpack's gonna be heavy. But you're like, oh, what's better is if I take everything out of my backpack, wear what I can, and then put the rest back in. And all of a sudden, your load that you're carrying is a lot less. So if they made it so that the items that you're wearing have less of a carry weight because you're not carrying them, you're wearing them, then that would fix a lot of shit.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Fuck Z.
Anyway, sorry, I'm mad.
No. That's-
Yeah. I mean, we all got each other fired up, I think.
She's on a roll today. with
She's
this,
on
like,
fire!
She's on a roll with prescient points.
Prussian points?
Prescient.
That is a good word. What does
Yeah.
that mean?
I'm sorry. What?
Define it in a sentence.
Yeah, can you define
Prescient?
it in a sentence? Like,
Prescient. Prescient means literally
Apropos.
like
Go on.
On point.
Prescient means having knowledge of events before they take place. I
Oh.
don't think that's what you're looking
no,
for.
no. I think prescient means more towards
It's not about
very
what we think,
relating
it's
exactly
about what
to
Webster
what's
tell
been.
us it is.
Tiki, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
prescient.
What is the point of
PRE.
communication? To communicate. He communicated. All right, let's talk about the camp system.
It was garbage to begin with. That's for goddamn
It was
sure.
garbage
Oh,
to begin with,
man.
and it's kind of a little bit okay. So I guess, like we said earlier, like we actually all like that it's in this game. It's sort of the most unique crafting system that, or like player housing system that we've seen in a game. But the amount of times object is floating, or you can't build this floor without connecting to it. It's just, again, it's just a downgraded, shittier version of the one that's already in Fallout 4. And I guess I get it. You sort of have to make it fit the multiplayer world that it exists in, but just building shit and just trying to move things around was so annoying. And on top of that, the budget is too small, in my opinion. And I mean, some people make really cool camps. Don't get me wrong, but it could just be better. What do you guys think?
Like 1000%. Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of limitations with the engine, and they wanted to start small, kind of like with the stash.
Sure.
We had started at 400 because they're like, well, we don't know if doing more stash is going to decrease server stability. I think they kind of took that same approach with camps. Start small at first and then go bigger later. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, if you're releasing the game and you're charging money for it, you're ready. We critique you on what.
Exactly.
So, there you
That's
go.
the thing. They released it. We're gonna critique what they gave us, and they gave us a shit amount of time to beta test it for them. And they could have given us a real beta test. They could have said 4 people on a server. Let's fucking go, and let's see how much stuff we can put in the stashes each, and let's see this and that. How big of a house you can build. It seems like they picked all this stuff arbitrarily. Like, what's our budget really based off of? Is it based off of a fully decked out house with like posters and everything in it?
It's
a garden.
Even if it's not,
posters don't count towards the budget. Like decorations and stuff, they don't count.
They count very minutely. Very minutely.
I think even if it's not arbitrary, it feels arbitrary, and it just, you guys know how in-depth some of my settlements from Fallout 4 go, and I just did not feel the same joy in trying to build my camp in this one because I felt just so restricted in trying to do it.
What if there's different types of furniture that like made it so that you could put a vending machine and put shit out for sale at your house, or you could make like
that'd be brilliant.
Like
they did that.
Maybe you could set up, I don't know, some sort of like tower defense system to where like if someone makes it through your little tower defense thing, they can loot what's at the end. I don't know, just something that more interactive furniture items.
Sounds awesome.
And that's just a spitballing for 2 seconds. Why didn't they come up with a better idea?
It's just, it is boring after a while. I like having it. I like having a free port to a weird place in the world.
Well, and they sold it like it was going to be rated. Like there's going to be events to defend your camp, and you're going to be able to build a big camp with your buddies.
It's going to get attacked by super mutants. My shit's never been attacked. Oh, okay, that's not true. My shit occasionally gets attacked by like a wandering rodent.
That actually reminds me of one of my favorite memories in this game was when Max and I were in his base and we were nuked.
I'm so mad about that.
It was in the middle of nowhere. There's like no reason for them to use a nuke.
Just besides they saw me and Z sitting in the same spot for maybe, 5 minutes. They're like, oh, they're out of camp. They're crafting. Let's nuke them.
The screen went white. It was really good.
Ah, shit. Okay, well, that sort of transitions into the next part, though. PvP in this game.
Absolute trash.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Awful.
There's no reason to have it. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna not do it, don't do it.
Yep.
Like there's a great quote for this. If you're gonna sit, sit. If you're gonna stand, stand. But don't fucking wobble. This is exactly what it does. Don't wobble.
I've never heard that quote, but I love it.
Did I cut it out?
No.
Yes.
I heard it. I heard wobble.
I didn't.
I've never heard that quote, though. But I love it. You just made that quote.
That's the best quote.
I thought you were going to say, don't squat.
No.
I've always heard, use the pot or get off. So
right, shit or get off the pot. Yeah, if you're going to sit, sit. If you're going to stand, stand. But don't fucking wobble. Like, pick what you're going to do and then do it. I mean, it relates back to my point before where they didn't take any chances. They didn't take any risks. They wanted to make it appeal to everybody. They wanted to make it safe, but they wanted to make it so it doesn't do anything.
But it's so dangerous with PvP because it's literally game breaking in some ways.
Yeah.
And so it would have been better for them to just say, "Fuck it, you guys are all on the same team when you're out."
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I think that would have been better.
Or what if it was factioned?
And that would be good too.
So freaking good.
But they would have to make the decision, and they didn't.
I don't like.
Wobbling.
I wouldn't want factions because of. Although they fuck with the lore so much with this game, it doesn't even matter anymore. But I wouldn't want factions, but I would have liked,
try.
Yeah, or just PvE or PvP servers,
Exactly.
And on top of that, have we talked about there really being no social interaction in this game. like make it so that there's some sort of text chat in this game, and then you can join clans and shit, and then maybe if you're in a clan, you can declare war against another clan, shit like that. Like allow players the agency to be the NPCs that you want them to be.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There's plenty of games out there that you can use that they could have used as templates. There's Conan Online, there's Rust, there's Ark, there's all these other games they could have used as templates that give people the freedom to do that. And they totally advertise it, and I think that's the problem. There's so many games out there to do it. There's an expectation for them to do it right, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Also, I think the best PvP aspect in the game is that you can crouch and disappear off the map. That's the best part.
Also, that if you're like a bad dude, that you can't see anybody else.
Yeah.
But I think we should be able to put bounties. We should be able to openly put bounties on anybody we want,
That
and it should cause that same effect.
No,
Oh,
no, I wouldn't like that. That would be open to griefing.
I'd be okay with that.
Characters that have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And are high level, just griefing by putting bounties on people and then going to their friends going to collect on those bounties. No.
Yeah, I guess so. It would have to cost a significant amount.
I'd be okay with that on maybe a PvP server. You know, but yeah.
There's an argument to that. Anything that PvP is enabled, you should be able to just turn it off and go to PvE servers, which, you know, they don't give us the freedom to do that.
That's right. They are wobbling.
And they're falling down. They're not Weeble Wobbles.
They're not sitting or standing, they're falling.
Yeah, they're in the perpetual state of falling right now, sadly.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? I mean, this has sort of been fixed. Hot mic or no mic. They fixed that with push to talk, I guess you could say. But again, that should have been in...
That should have been a feature. Yeah,
that should have been in the game at launch. Like,
Bethesda, what are you doing?
It's just like they don't even know, right? Like that's
like they didn't.
It's
like they didn't beta test it.
That's not even beta.
How long was in? Yeah. How long was that feature in the game through beta testing and through release that they didn't fix? That they didn't introduce a push to talk.
It's because everyone that was beta testing it turned off the audio like Max and I do when they play.
Yeah, it's
so they had no idea.
Everybody does. Well, but they also gave us a week to even, figure that out.
Yeah, I remember the first time we played this game and we stepped outside and we were in like the town or something like that. All I heard was some other dude talking Russian.
And that's the curse, right? You either run into kids, you run into ragers, you run into trolls, you run into someone speaking a different language that, I mean...
They won't shut up.
They won't shut up or
don't
whatever.
Speak your booga booga language.
Oh my God.
It's not even about that. It's just, can't understand them. It's just white noise,
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that being said,
yelling
about,
at their
like,
mom.
The audio.
No, shut up.
The music is really good. I wish I could listen to it and you guys at the same time.
Yeah, no, the soundtrack's solid, no doubt. There's a pro. There's your lone pro.
I figured that it might get hit with copyright claims on.
Oh, it absolutely does. Yeah.
Which is sort of a problem. Like, most people have to turn that off if they're streaming. I'm surprised you didn't just turn it off, but you're not big enough to have that as a worry.
I mean, I did get hit by copyrights occasionally, but I mean, I'm not monetized, so it just doesn't do anything anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. It's not monetized, so it doesn't matter.
Let's see. So the EXP system, I mean, you need only look at our levels. I mean, granted, Max and I played solo a few times, but I mean, without the shared EXP, whoever is better at killing is going to outlevel. And especially for Tiki, you build pretty much a combat weak role. So it's like you get kind of screwed out of that. It's like,
even I am trying to spec into damage, but I'm ranged, and so if I'm following you guys in melee, I can't get a shot on him when you guys go around the corner and kill it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like it got to a point too where you were basically able to two-shot something, so our contribution didn't actually matter because you would have killed it in 2 shots anyway. So like wham, 1, I shoot it, I get now XP for it, but you killed it anyway. So like the bullets that I put into it didn't matter.
That's one of the times I got really frustrated. In fact, the only reason I'm at the level I am is because I played a lot on my own. Tiki was ahead of me by a significant amount, and I could not get XP because I could not get hits on things. I could not do quests because they were buggy. So I just played by myself and tried to catch up. And now I'm way ahead because I'm so much stronger because I got caught up. But now you guys are having the same problem that I was having. Because now there's 2 people that are way too strong. Like,
yeah. And there is, I bring this up on Reddit a lot, and people just say stuff like, well, just let your friends get tags in, bro. And it's like, yes, I should do that. And I try and do that about half the time. But like, I shouldn't have to sort of neuter my gameplay experience because of bad game design. Like, that's really just a band-aid for no shared EXP. And maybe, maybe the person who gets the killing blow should get a bonus, right? But like, there still should be some sort of proximity EXP. And there's, people who are like, oh, well, that'll make people just go AFK as someone levels for them. It's like, so okay, so what? If they want to play Fallout 76 by being AFK and on their phone while their friend plays it for them, God bless them.
There's an argument to just the passive XP. I think that should be a thing. But I think the other thing is
maybe
you
if
could let us tag us if you had the inventory space to have low-level weapons or a plethora of different weapons to choose from. That would make sense to let us tag things, because then you could like shoot things and gather things for us.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, you can't have an armament of all the different leveled guns to do that with, or it just doesn't make sense.
I mean,
it's too heavy.
I could try a lot harder, but it's just it's kind of just lame for me. But okay, I'll carry around this level 1 pistol and shoot everything once, so then you guys can tag everything while I stand there, and then I'll hit them with my sledge. Same thing with you, Max, and the shotgun. Okay, I'll run up to things and bash them, and then stand around as Tiki and Zaya get their hits in, and then I'll kill them. It's like...
That's how I've been playing, though. I've been playing around, and I've been crippling things so everybody else can get a tag. That's how I've been playing.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to play that way. And also, I would like to say that I cannot kill things that are my level. I have weapons that are too low for my level, and then weapons that are too high for me to equip.
Mm-hmm.
I would put them in my stash and I would save them, but then I have no room or no weight or no carrying capacity. So the best weapon I have is 15 levels below the level I am now. And that's because I crafted it and then I modded it, and it's the best one I can make.
Sure.
You can find another frame for whatever weapon that was on, and then do the same mod at a higher level.
Well, also, yeah.
I haven't though. I haven't found a recipe to do that.
Zaya, I think what we need to say about you, and this goes sort of with any game, so I don't know if it's Fallout 76 problem that much, but like, you definitely sort of chose a suboptimal spec, and I don't know
that's a different point.
Yeah.
I wanted to make.
Yeah. Like
I feel like I chose wrong, which is not fair in this game.
Right.
Pistols are usually a damage build in all other games I've ever played. So it's insane that I'm nerfed because I didn't choose melee.
Yeah. Like, there are absolutely some specs in this game that are better than others. Like, melee and shotgun build in this game are OP as fuck. Rifles, when you get to a certain point with the right weapons, are like very powerful. And yeah, pistols just are not. And could you have done more research before you picked that? Yeah, sure. But like, all specs should sort of be viable enough. Yeah, right. So
yeah, and
you shouldn't have to re-roll your character, because now she's level 40 and it's so hard to get new cards.
Well, okay, and that sort of goes to where I wanted to go next. Actually, you can't, like, they did introduce. Okay, first of all, at launch there was no way to respec, so that was a big negative against it. But even now, the only way to respec is to level and then to like manually move a special point around, and that's
so you
fucking
have to, like,
lame.
balls off.
Yeah.
to be able to, yeah.
Like they
to
should be
respect-
at
yeah,
level 50. Like maybe make it a cap requirement. Like, oh, you go to some robot somewhere and it charges you 1,000 caps and it lets you completely respend your specials. I'd be fine with
I
that.
think-
He takes a super sledge, knocks you unconscious, and you have amnesia and you forget how special you were.
Or it
There you
could
go.
be similar to the silo code, like gathering the silo code things, you know? Like gather 4 pieces from dudes that spawn on the map, and you can respawn or
I don't know.
respec.
I don't think it should even be that complicated. I think you should be able to just respec to whatever you want. Maybe with a little bit of in-game currency, but because then it, you know, like Zay is saying, you just end up getting annoyed and sort of downtrodden about your build that you picked that you thought would be fun, but turns out is just not that fun.
Yeah, and the crafting system, I think there is some confusion with the crafting system. Z could probably make her pistols a little bit better.
Yeah.
If she could find the right frame
Well-
too. But it took me to level 45 to figure out how to make my shotguns decent too. It's really confusing to figure out how the crafting system does work.
I don't think it's confusing. I understand it. I don't have the shit for it. I haven't been able to find it.
It's not just the mods though. It's like the
Well,
yeah.
and you
Yeah, the
also
actual frame.
you need
You need
you
perks.
also need the plans
I have
for
I
everything.
have the perk.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
just-
plans too.
It's just hard to come across.
Yeah.
Well, the plans, most of the plans come from salvaging that weapon frame.
Scrapping. Right,
I
exactly.
scrap weapons all the time.
Yeah, but it has to be that
right.
specific frame.
Yeah, and you
So-
know, like I found more damage dealing shotguns and rifles. I swap my weapon all the time so I can do more damage, but I have to hold on to my pistol because it's like, you know, it's my main.
Yeah.
It's just shit. I wish I could kill things my own level. You know,
Agreed.
I could invest more time into re-speccing my shit or getting better weapons, but it's at this point it's exhausting me, and I don't really have the if I knew that it would make me a lot better, then I'd be like, hell yeah. But I know that it's just gonna be the same shit.
Or you've already put 40 plus hours in this game, right? You should just be able to respec at 50. Like you shouldn't have to
Yeah, you should just
spend
be able to have fun.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to spend a level up to like change to fix an error you made while leveling and there was no way for you to know.
Why should it even be an error that I chose pistols?
No, okay.
Why should
that
or-
be an error?
Okay, yeah, no. All right.
Right.
By error I mean like say you put a special point somewhere where you didn't mean to. Like there's no way to fix that until you're level 50. And then
Well, even
to fix that you have to level up. So it's
it
like,
could
Right.
still be an error. Even if you went pistols and you found out, oh, in this game pistols mean stealth. I don't want to be stealth. That could be an error.
yeah, sure.
You should still be allowed to change away from it to suit your playstyle. You know?
That being said, the stealth bonus in this game is just as good as it is in Skyrim. So, another positive.
Stealth bonus? What do you mean?
Yeah, if you're stealth
Initial
when you
hit.
shoot, you like
Oh yeah, okay.
you
yeah.
can nearly one shot a
hidden,
dude.
hidden crit or
Sure.
whatever. Hidden crit.
Especially if you spec into it, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
But also, okay, but you really can't be stealth then if you're playing as a group. Like when,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
when can
And
you play
kill
stealth?
One person.
Yeah, you kill one
You
person,
kill one dude.
and then Max and I are up front raping everything while Tiki's AFK.
And realistically, if you use that one shot on the crowned dude and you get him to half health, he full heals. So
Well, that's when you get better loot.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, I have a general critique of both Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. The perk system in general, I find boring and unimaginative. And I'll explain that. Max, you were saying earlier how you have to spend basically 13 perk cards in various shotgun specs to basically have a viable shotgun build. That's
let's think here. In strength, I have 3 cards in shotgun that require 3 each, so there's 9, and then I have a 4th one in strength that requires 3. So
Yeah.
that's 12 right there.
I also have 12 off the bat that are kind of necessary if I'm going NA melee build. And then I have another 3 that I could spend to do for two-handed weapons, but that's actually being used by 3 cards of Traveling Pharmacy, which reduces the weight of all fucking chems.
Yeah, and I have 6 more points invested in the shotgun and 2 other in one 3 points in perception, 3 points in agility, and I have another 2 points in agility just to be able to keep up with the ammo demand of shotgunning.
Yeah. So
which is ammo crafting.
my broader point is any perk card that's just it increases 200 melee weapons by 20%. You need 3 of those, and I have like there are 9 of those. Like that's just bad, boring game design. There should be no perk cards that just maybe not no, but maybe it should just be 3 perk cards. It increases by 20%, 40%, 60%. That's it. That's all you need to do full two-handed melee damage. Because spending 12 perk cards out of a maxed out special, which is 15, it's lame. I don't know what else to say. It's lame and it's not creative. Like they have some creative perks in this game. Like let's see. Where is it? Last laugh, drop a live grenade from your inventory when you die. That's awesome. That's funny. That's creative. That's unique. That's a fucking perk. And that's what perks have always been in Fallout up until Fallout 4. So that's why I say this isn't just a unique Fallout 76 critique. It's Fallout 4 as well. But like, it's just, professional drinker. Here's another unique one. There's no chance you'll get addicted to alcohol. Kind of boring. I think I wish there was something more unique about that. But it's better than... again, 9 points invested in melee weapons or two-handed weapons to be viable.
They could have easily made that perk so much cooler in one simple way. Reverse the effects of being addicted to alcohol.
Yeah, sure.
If you're addicted to alcohol, you get better like stats while you're drunk.
Yeah, because that's professional drinker. Isn't that or no? Party animal or something.
Yeah,
that
party animal
increases. That requires 2 points. That requires 2 points to be able to use that card for one level. One level of that card requires 2 points. That is so expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of okay with that one because, again, that does something fairly interesting. It doubles and then triples the effects of alcohol. But, like, the ones that just increase stat damage, like any damage plus 20%, those need to be either consolidated into one pack of 3 or just go away entirely and then just buff weapon damage. That's not what a perk is. A perk is not, and then it'll give us more freedom on how we want to play our characters. A lot of it is us sort of pigeonholing ourselves, which is good in a sense because it forces us to play roles. But a lot of it is just like, oh, well, I'm two-handed melee weapons, and that's really all I can do unless I want to say fuck it to my build and then go another direction and get 9 perk cards and, perception so I can get all the rifle perks. Like,
and start stealing ammo from Tiki.
Yeah.
Because he needs that ammo.
Can I ask a question?
What's up?
Fuck. It's like I walked through a door. Okay, so are there shinies? When you get a perk deck, like you get to open the deck, are there shinies? Because I swear I have 2 of the same card, except for one has a prettier like art to it.
I don't think
And,
so.
like,
Yeah, it's almost like I know what you're talking about, Z. It's almost like it's a foil card. Yeah.
So
are some perk cards better than others?
I wish that they were.
There's an animation on them. Like there's one in agility where your AP regenerates faster.
Yeah.
I got that in a perk pack, like my first perk pack, and the person is animated running. The standard one, he's just kind of like sitting there, just going, "Hey, look, I'm running," but he's not actually running on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean.
Wouldn't it be cool if that actually had like a better stat to it? So I like the fun thing of like opening and getting a deck while you're leveling, you actually have a chance to get a rare card.
The only way I'd agree with that is if they gave you more cards more frequently. It's so hard to get cards.
Not in the beginning.
Like even if you could buy, maybe not in the.
In the beginning, you get a deck like every level for the first like 10 levels.
I guess so, but that's tapers off really quickly, and then you can't. It's not like you can even buy them with caps or something. If you could buy them with caps, cool, but you can't even buy a pack of cards with it.
Zaya, I don't hate your idea. I think it's an interesting idea, but it doesn't really address still the core issue of some perk cards are both necessary and boring. And I don't like that. So yeah, it would be cool if I would be sort of okay if there were like better perk cards that you could get. Either I would prefer we could get them through like doing challenges as opposed to just straight up RNG.
Yeah, that would be cool too. I feel like there's a lot they could do. Definitely doesn't solve the problem you're doing. I feel like a lot of cards that I have that I use that are like more boring or stupid are because like I have to fill a one. Like I have 12 out of my 13, perception points, so I'm gonna throw a random one card in there.
Yeah.
And that kind of feels shitty.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's potential for it to be fun, and
isn't that just
like,
sort of the story of this game?
It's so close. It's just not finished.
But it is
not done.
It
is fun. It is fun,
but
right?
I wish it was fun without being frustrating.
I think for us, the thing is, it's fun in spite of all the things. Like, and it's fun because we have fun playing with each other. Like, I don't know how much I genuinely would have liked or enjoyed this game if I wasn't playing with you guys or if I wasn't playing with friends in general.
Yeah.
So I guess
can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
What do you think could be the most game improving change that they could make to the game? Like, if you had to pick one or two of your top things.
Don't wobble with PvP.
Yeah, I mean, I think PvP and PvE servers would be one of them. I think just commit either one way or the other, or like accept that there's the split and embrace it. But I think for me, the big one would be like allowing players to actually have agency over how they want to play and allow them to actually role play. So that would be give us a text chat, give us some sort of hub in the world where we're incentivized to go and talk to people and trade with people. Hell, it could even be White Springs is literally right there with all the shops, but like players sort of don't really have a reason to go there beyond that. And also, so give us like a global chat, like a global text chat, and allow us to mark our camps on the map and give us player vendors. I think that would be a big first step.
Yeah, I think I agree with all that. Give more power to the players. Open up camps more, so like you can store things in foot lockers and stuff in your base. More budget to your base in general, so you can play with decorations and make weird platforms or make things actually look proper. However you want to do it. Like, it's a shame that when I'm building my base that I feel like building foundations is a waste of a budget, because I can build my whole base off of one foundation if I do it properly.
It would be nice to not see the same base. To not everyone have the same looking base.
Yeah.
It's kind of going up into the sky.
Yeah.
That's the meta, though. That's how it works. If there's a restraining factor, then everyone's going to build towards the meta.
Yeah, and that's how it works for exactly that reason, because that's the easiest way, because of all the fucking, object is floating, cannot interacts with object, So what's the cheap way out of that? Build one foundation and then build stairs. Just kind of go up from there. Yeah, fuck. Oh, sorry, Gozy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, in addition to everything that you guys have said, I think that if they improved the event variety, like the variety of events, and like had special spawning events that only happen every Sunday, or they like
the events would have to be
special triggers, like you'd have to do a quest chain and then it triggers an event. Like more complex event things would be really cool, because I think events are one of the strongest multiplayer things that they have. People get together to do events together, and that's pretty cool. But
if they made like boss events or world events, absolutely, I agree, Z. I like that idea.
Yeah, I think also going off that, Z, I think they just need to accept that the no NPCs thing didn't work, and then introduce some story relevant NPCs as well. They're committed. Yeah,
they're committed.
Well, they're fucking wrong. As well as introduce like more of a more of a story for your character to follow. Like, we sort of are
Yeah.
following the Overseas journey. We still haven't finished that because it kind of just stalls out at a certain point, and then you only complete it by exploring further shit.
I think the story's gonna have to be where it's gonna. I don't think they're ever gonna fix the story. Unfortunately, it's gonna have to be stuck in this awful limbo. It sucks.
Well, maybe someone from Bethesda will watch this video. They'll make it all the way to the end, and they'll be like, "Okay, let me get my notepad."
Ah, shit.
You know,
All right,
I'm not
well-
reaching at all.
We're at that point, guys. Would you rebuy?
I don't think so.
In the current state, no.
Yeah.
I
I-
think that. Oh, sorry. You go.
No, you-
Go ahead, Zion.
No,
you go.
Tyler, justify your shit. Go.
I mean, I think that there is still a lot of potential, and I think that it has the possibility to No Man's Sky happen to this, where it sucked at first, there was nothing to do, and then later, towards the end of development, like a year and a half after release, they fixed everything. They put a direction on it, and it became good. And I think that possibility definitely exists in Fallout 76 because that's probably what they were envisioning, but it's not there yet.
You think they were like, let's No Man's Sky this?
No, I mean, no, they were envisioning like much grander systems in the game. You know, like I said, like, you know, kind of an EVE Online post-apocalyptic West Virginia, right? Like, that's where it could go, and I think that they have the potential to No Man's Sky this, and it could be better later. But as of right now, no. Nope. Wouldn't rebuy right now.
My answer is complicated, and I've thought about this a lot. I really enjoy our time that we've played, and I feel like I don't regret it at all because I've had a lot of fun, and I really want to say yes, I would buy it, but I'd have to be to where money isn't a problem, and $60 isn't a lot of money to me, which I realize that a lot of gamers, $60 is a lot of money to put towards a game, and you want to be able to enjoy your time and not be frustrated.
Mhm.
So it makes it really hard for me to commit to that, and so being, you know, not rich, no, I would not rebuy it. But I wish I had more money just in general, like life stuff. But I wish that
Welcome to the
$60
human
wasn't a lot,
experience.
because then I'd just say yes, I'd rebuy it.
So someone that's coming into the scene now, considering it went on sale, would you buy it? Now that at $40, would you
Yeah,
buy it for 40
okay,
bucks?
I would
yeah.
buy it for 30.
That was actually going to be my follow-up question. To you, I guess Max, you should go next.
I would not. Right now, still, because it's just so buggy, you know. Like, I just end up being more frustrated. It's not even about anymore. I don't even think about the price I paid for it. It's frustrating the price that we paid for it now, but it's just about when we play it. I'm frustrated when I play. It's not fun, so I don't know if I'd pay for that experience, no amount of money. Maybe if they fix it later, but that I can't speculate on that now.
Sure. Yeah, we can only judge the product that we have in front of us, right?
Exactly.
And we also can only judge the multiplayer experience. Like, I know that they designed this to be multiplayer, but if we played it single player, if we read all the tapes and we weren't talking to someone online, is there a single player game to be had, and is that worth it?
I've played it
I don't think that
a fair amount single player. I played probably. I mean, I have a level 40 character who's single player, so.
Well, would that change your answer then? And I don't think you've given your answer.
I haven't given my answer. So yeah, I'm in a similar place with you, Zaya. Although so you guys know that I'm a Fallout fanboy. I love all the Fallouts going back to the classic ones. So I would buy this game again because of sort of who I am as a person and what I like. But I would not recommend this game to pretty much anyone, even like a hardcore Fallout fan. It's just too much of a buggy mess. It's just You know, this I enjoy it in spite of its flaws, but I can't overlook them to someone else and say, yeah, you should spend $60 in this game. Granted, this game's not $60 anymore. I don't know if one of you guys want to do a price check. You know, we've
Well,
seen it hovering as low as 30, but what's up? What's up, Z?
B312 in chat said that the New Zealand
Holy
they're
shit.
going for 120, which is 81 US dollars. they just did.
Jesus Christ.
And definitely not worth it.
Yeah, no, that's fucking dog shit. I think so. My question to all of you is, and this is sort of a statement and a question. But if this game was $30 on release, if Bethesda had marketed it as, hey, this is our early access to our ongoing Fallout Online game that we're going to support for the next decade because you guys aren't going to get Fallout 5 for a decade. And if they marketed that in all those ways and it was $30, would that change your opinion right now? Or change your mind right now?
Yeah, if
this
they
was
were more
considered
clear.
early access still.
Yeah, if they're clear that it was still early access, if they were clear that they were gonna about their where they were gonna make money, too, like we're gonna keep providing content for this until the next Fallout comes out, by providing stuff in the store to pay for the people that are patching it. So they keep releasing new stuff for holidays and stuff. That's how they're expecting to keep making money on this game, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Just be transparent. Be clear with us. Everybody else, that's when Blizzard was the best, is when they were like, okay, we're going to do some loot boxes. It's not going to be it's just going to be cosmetics. You can just buy them if you want, or you can just earn them, whatever.
And that actually brings up a really good point, is that I haven't been able to find a good Twitter or like blog post or anything where the developers are talking to you about updates. And there have been many games where like I really appreciate people being like, this is the update that's coming and this is what we're focusing on. And this is why we focused on it.
Yeah.
I haven't looked that shit up, but
Current best price is $60. The historic low was $35.99.
Hang on. So this is $60 right now?
That's a $60 game right now.
Okay. Yeah, fucking dog shit.
Yeah. Here, let me go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's.
I wouldn't do it for 30.
Yeah, really?
No, I wouldn't do it for 30, and I still would not do it if they were advertising that this is a early access. I would have waited for other people to do it and for reviews to come out, and then most people would be saying, yeah, no, it's not that great, so I would have waited until it got better, until they No Man's Skied it.
Yeah, there's validity to that too. I'm cautious like that as well. But at the same time, if everybody else was in, I would have totally jumped at a $30 game, just because $30 is a cheap price to have a co-op game like this.
That's the difficult thing about us, right? It's because like Zay is saying, like I had a lot of fun playing with you guys too, but no shit, like if you have friends make everything better, more or less, right? So it's like, yeah, we enjoyed this game more because we played it with each other, but it's hard to sort of.
You guys are assholes.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Make me laugh.
Yeah,
but it's hard to.
Half of it is half the problem with us is finding a game that accentuates that. So, like, we reach out to these types of games and we try to hold on to them, and sometimes,
Well, and that's why I'm sort of okay with us moving on, because the moment we start growing stale with something, I think it's time to move on. And it's sort of sad that we bitch about Payday, but we played Payday it took 4 months for us to sort of finish and be done with Payday, and this one we're kind of already done with in, what is it? What has it been? A month and a half? Granted, we probably played this for like longer stretches than we played Payday. But
here's the thing: is like, Payday had an end. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
If it was just continual, I would have burned out. I went, through the last half of that game because I knew that like I'm a completionist. I want to do every level. I'm not quitting. And this is like, okay.
What's the point?
Is the end game doing the Overseer quest line? Is it
Well, and that's what I was sort of waiting for. I wasn't trying not to ruin the game for you guys. I was wanting to sort of.
You didn't ruin the game.
Well,
Don't say that shit.
Max, you ruined the game for me.
I know. Go ahead, Z. I cut you off. I'll continue on after you finish.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to continue to a quest, to the Overseer quest or whatever, but Z fell behind and Tiki felt disinterested, and like that's what made me like give up too.
Well, and there's no
because we quit making moves towards it.
Yeah, and there's no clear main, like, I mean, the Overseer's mission is the main story, but there's no clear path for that at this point. Like right now, it's literally explore and find her shit. So.
Which we've been doing, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, okay, so that storyline is to guide you through the world. You're supposed to go to one place, do all the quests in that area, then move to the next place, then do all the quests in that area. So it makes it really hard to, like, when you do that one quest in that area, you don't do all the other quests in that area, so you don't get a feel for that area. But that takes a lot more time, and it's really hard to manage everyone when everyone's looking in all the buildings and stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely the biggest like challenge that I think we all faced trying to do quests. Or certainly me. Like
this is a looting simulator game. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is.
No. This is fucking
and I like
Fallout
I
Inventory
like
Manager.
Yep.
And looting simulator.
I mean, I'm a pack rat and a hoarder. I enjoy collecting clocks and board games and all that shit in the game. Like, that was great. I enjoyed that.
Needs more Skyrim potatoes.
All right, so we got 3 would not recommend, and we got 1 would rebuy, or 3 would not rebuy, and 1 would rebuy but would not recommend. Solid.
There you go. I mean, that's probably the worst review of any game we've had so far.
So basically, the thing is, we all love it. So that's what's so weird is that we wouldn't recommend it. We spend a lot of money on it, and yet we all like to play the game and we enjoy it.
Yeah, but
so like it's
Zaya,
very complicated.
Zaya, we all like playing with each other. So it's like that's going to enhance any game that we play.
I'm so close to liking it. See, you and I have rose-tinted glasses too, because we've played so many buggy games. We've exposed ourselves intentionally to worse games than this. So this is fine, realistically. But when you're paying for like AAA title price for a game like this, even $30 price for a game like this, it's unacceptable.
Yep.
So if it's not worth your money, is it worth your time? If we didn't have each other, would it be worth your time? Because your time is more valuable than your money.
It was worth our time up until recently, where everyone's getting frustrated, especially at the bugs that were happening. I'd say it was worth our time until I was getting so frustrated at the bugs.
That wasn't my point. It was like if you were just a person, would you be more mad that you spent a lot of time on the game and you got to this point and you didn't have fun? Or would you be more mad that you spent $60 on it and you didn't get your money's worth?
All right. Go ahead, Max.
Well, that's funny you say that, because I was going to say sort of the same thing when Clancy said we all came to the same conclusion that, don't recommend. I was going to say, so we came to the same conclusion as everybody else, but we put in 4 times as much time as all these other reviewers.
Yeah.
No,
we did.
Recommend, don't buy. We put in 4 times as much time. Still the same review.
Yeah. Zaya.
Well, at least we tried.
Yeah. No, Zaya, to answer your question, without you guys, if I had just bought this game and was playing it solo or stumbled across other people to play with, I would definitely be more bummed out than I am now. I would be like, oh, okay, I was really looking forward to Fallout Online, to play that for the next 10 years, to really establish, to play it like WoW, except without as much commitment as WoW. And it's just not. I would have probably quit this game sooner without you guys, or have played it less and played it less going forward. So yeah, I probably would be. I mean, you guys probably wouldn't have even bought it, but I would probably be the most bummed out because this series is my favorite series, and this is the worst game in the series now. It was. It's really unfortunate, but I'm glad we sort of put in the time to. And again, I have fun playing this game. I have fun playing it with you guys, but it would be unconceivable.
Disingenuous?
Yeah, disingenuous to not point out how much of a fucking dumpster fire it is. And it is. It's a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire.
And you
we have
can
a lot of fun
in a dumpster fire.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Kick around a can.
Making the best of a bad situation.
Well, I have cumulatively cost you guys $180. I apologize.
That's not true. We elected to join you in this dumpster fire. So
Whatever you bought us, Dwarf Galactic.
Yeah. Deep Rock?
Deep Rock Galactic, whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
Last time
And-
Tiki was around, what did you call it?
Dwarf
What was it?
Fortress.
Dwarf
That's called a
Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress.
Oh, Dwarf Fortress. Yeah.
Oh my god.
The old school.
All right, well, I think that covers everything. You guys got anything else?
Don't wobble.
Don't
Don't
wobble.
wobble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will wobble, but they don't fall down.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't fallen down yet, but it's in the process of falling. They could stand upright. They could do it. They probably won't. I mean, they probably
We
will.
will
It'll
wobble.
take like years. That's what it'll do.
All right. Here's a good way to send it off. Ready?
Okay.
Weebles wobble, but don't buy Fallout.
Has a nice ring to it.
There you go.
You guys got anything else? Anyone got anything else?
How many times did I change my hair color throughout the series?
I
want
want
to say
to pay
game,
attention.
right?
That's a lot.
That's just a general question for your follower.
I don't know.
Do you have the answer?
No.
Whoever
If you're gonna ask-
correctly guesses it after watching all of our content gets to play in the next game with us.
I have a tip for everyone that asks a question. If you're gonna ask a question, you honestly want someone to answer it. You should know the answer yourself.
Or maybe I'm just asking them for me.
Yeah,
To figure out how many times I changed my hair color.
Do this work for me, and
You
I'll
do
play a
this.
game with you.
Yeah, put it on the subreddit.
I'm going to.
Say as he does not said.
I'm going to put this on the Reddit, see what happens. All right, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Take It Slow, Angry Porto, Clancy, too many goddamn nicknames, signing off with my boy, Tiki Taco.
AKA Professor Man Taco.
Maximus Vagimus, the Maxi Pad,
GFY.
and Zayazine Hothead.
Yo!
Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. We'll catch you. We'll catch you next time.
Peace out, Cub Scouts.
Peace out, Cub Scout. So to everyone watching, we actually have a fairly decent crew tonight. We're gonna be playing Deep Rock Galactic next, which is the 4-player.
It's 9 o'clock. We ain't playing
No,
that
no,
tonight.
not tonight, you fucking cunt. No, next week.
Were you gonna call him a cuck? That's
You
what I thought were gonna say.
fucking
Cuckold.
cuckold.
You fucking cuck.
Yeah, we'll be playing Deep Rock Galactic next week. We're gonna probably take a couple days off between now and then. It's not to say.
Max's birthday soon.
Oh shit! Max.
Don't fucking throw me under the bus.
Oh, Max, you're turning 27. And it's gonna be official. Everything's gonna start falling apart. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
He's gonna wake up that morning and then he's gonna hurt his back and he's gonna go fuck.
It's like this is.
He'll probably be hungover when he wakes up on his 27th birthday.
Yeah.
We got a party on Saturday.
There you go. So it's not that we probably will come back to Fallout 76. If not intermittently, then probably in the future once some significant patches are rolled out.
I say we should do it in 2020. We should give it a whole year.
Oh
See what-
man, it might be dead by then.
Then it wasn't good at all.
No, I
Yeah.
can't. I want to keep playing it. That's the thing is, I think I'll probably go a few weeks and be like,
Well,
I
I think
want
you guys
them
should
to No
catch up
Man's
to
Sky.
50. I definitely want you guys to catch up to 50, maybe on your own time.
That's not gonna happen.
I mean, I probably will. I'll probably fire it up here and there.
Yeah, and I think we all have permission to sort of play on our own at this point too, because that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna see where this actual Overseer's mission goes. Probably gonna try and join the Brotherhood and all that stuff. So Zaya's like, "Fuck!
I'll see if I can exploit the game.
Bullshit!"
Get my account banned so I can have an excuse not to play it again.
just don't play it, Max. No one's making you now.
I'm just gonna do some dumb stuff to get myself banned.
Oh Jesus!
You could just uninstall it and then just go, alright, I forget. Game file's
You
corrupted. I don't know what to
Also,
do."
the worst thing you could do is nuke someone's house. And what is that going to do for you? Nothing.
You
Yeah,
don't
it doesn't
understand.
even get you a bounty.
I ripped out a hard drive from my laptop. I put it into my computer, installed this game onto it so it would load faster.
He did rip out
I
a
did upgrade
hard
my
drive
computer
to
for
have
it,
a
too.
designated Fallout drive.
And next, we thought you were not committed. We were wrong. You committed as fuck.
I tried, man. I'm telling you.
Max just wants permission to uninstall.
Max, the thing is, I don't think he'd ever go back and play Fallout 4 anymore, which is kind of a shame. But
Okay,
I also
yeah.
probably won't finish Fallout 4.
Hang on, Max. So yeah, okay. Fallout 4 gets a lot of heat, or at least it did before this game. But like Fallout 4 is legit like Skyrim with guns. It's a solid game. So like all your complaints about this
Boys, so much.
Okay. Well, all right, but there are mods. There are fucking mods that really overhaul the Pip-Boy interface.
That's fair. I've been really. If I play the game, it's gonna be with mods. The problem is,
go to
I
town
haven't
with
been
mods.
dedicated enough to figure out the mods and stuff. Especially when I have other games like Witcher,
Oh, okay.
which
Play The Witcher
is
first.
arguably a way better game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not arguably. It is a better game. Sorry. I love Fallout, which is a better game. Witcher's like
Yeah,
the best
that's
game
sort
of
of the
the
point,
generation.
Yeah, that's sort of the point, though, right? Like, I can either put a bunch of time into trying to mod a game to make it playable, or in a genre that I generally am not like a huge fan of the genre either. That's really pulling me in. But Witcher is. The only thing with Witcher is it's fucking hard, especially if you take
Sure.
a little while off from it and you try to come back to it.
Although honestly,
Damn, it's hard.
I thought that as well, but what Witcher does really well is it forces you to use every ability that your character has. So especially when you're going into like fight an actual like quest monster, or like there are just like world mobs or bandits that are, easy enough, but like a lot of times you're like tracking a specific demon. And you have to really be smart. Like you have to go in, put the right oil on your blade. You have to go in with the right grenades. You have to know like what spells you have to use at what time.
And I get that. That's great. The problem is trying to remember all those little things when you haven't played in a little while.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
it's
sure.
fine to fall behind on the story. It catches you back onto the story is easy. But remembering all that little itty bitty details of how to do this stuff, even how to dodge roll. Sometimes, like I took a long break and came back, and I had to restart the game from scratch just because I couldn't figure out how to do any of the combat.
Yeah, no, there was a excuse me, there is a learning curve, no doubt. But like another thing I really like about it is all the things I just said about how you learning how to play your character. It becomes intuitive by the time you're halfway through or done the game. You start to be like, oh, okay, I'm fighting a banshee. I need mage oil. I need to use my Erden trap when she does this.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and I was already at that point. The problem is something else stole me away again. Like holidays happened, and then I picked up another game, and then we started doing this and that.
Yeah.
Now I'm playing RimWorld, doing like a little tactics thing because it's fucking chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now next time I pick up the game, I'm gonna have to probably go through the tutorial again and figure out how to play again, then pick up my old save. But that's sort of the same way I do Mass Effect too. Every time I pick up the game, I forget it.
Well,
Realistically,
Mass Effect's so easy to get into, though.
Yeah, I know.
What's up,
Just
Taco?
the story on that one.
I was looking at Dying Light and Dead by Daylight. Those look pretty cool. We can do after Deep Cock Galactic. I know you were talking about Dying Light before. It seems pretty cool.
Dying Light is what's the right word to put it? Like, it might make Z poop her pants. Like it's not like Left 4 Dead where it's kind of like cheesy, funny. Like it's
fun, goofy.
It's like a horror game, from everything I've seen about it.
I mean, wasn't the forest kind of supposed to be that too? And she.
I guess Max, is Zaya gone? She peace.
I don't know if she can hear you. She's still in the room.
Okay. I guess you should just have her look at some gameplay, see if she'd be okay with it. I mean, I'd be.
Dying Light, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I thought we already looked all this up. I thought she's okay with it. I don't remember.
Okay.
What was it?
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Although we still have Wildlands too. So.
Yeah, we still have plenty of games.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think what we should do next, if we never play Fallout 76 again, sad, is sort of switch between Deep Rock and Wildlands.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. Because I feel like Deep Rock's going to be more of a sort of grindy, shoot the shit kind of evening, where we can do 3 of us at times. Tiki. And Wildlands will have sort of that more open world story that we'll all be able to sort of follow and get into. So, that's my thought.
Does anybody know if? Well, I suppose Steve, you'd probably be the one to ask if Wildlands delivers their story through cutscenes, because I kind of feel like it has to happen that way if we're going to be able to follow the story.
I don't know. I think it does.
is there much story in that game?
I think
guess there is.
I mean, listen, anything next to this is going to seem like a lot of story, right? So, might be the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think
We didn't even do this. Have we actually played a story game together yet?
Not since Borderlands, yeah. Not really. Let's see. I mean, yeah, Left 4 Dead doesn't really have a story. Warhammer, I mean, they all like sort of have stories in their own peripheral way, but like it didn't have a story in the sense of like Borderlands has an obvious story that we're all following, right? Everything we've played since then hasn't really.
We might need to make some ground rules on cutscenes and stuff then when that comes up. We haven't actually, we might actually talk over it and stuff, and that might not be good for video or etc. So
We can talk over it. What?
Hey,
No,
no, that was good. No, I liked it. Yeah. So shit. Okay. So yeah, Rika Ree says I didn't get the hate for Fallout 4. Yeah, I mean it was sort of. I guess in hindsight now you look at it and it's like kind of unnecessary. I mean every Fallout game that's come out has sort of split the Fallout community. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's like. Fallout is filled with such a weird diehard fan base. Like there are still people that are fans of the isometric games that are like Fallout 3 sucks, Fallout 4 sucks. And it's like, well, they're different kind of games.
it's funny you say that because I have Fallout New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And same problem as Fallout 4. I hate the Pip-Boy. I put it down, but I told people I have Fallout New Vegas. They're like, "Oh, that's the worst one." When I have
What?
Fallout 3 is better,
Mm.
and now
New Vegas is
Fallout 4 is out, and everyone's like, "New Vegas is like the best one."
Well,
It's like, what the fuck?
yeah, no.
Like every time a new one comes out, the last one's better.
Yeah, people are, well, I mean, people are fickle idiots, so I don't know what else to say besides that.
Well,
But like Fallout New Vegas is probably arguably the best sort of Fallout role-playing game, modern Fallout role-playing game, in my opinion, because it sort of allows you to be wherever you want, but there's actual choice and consequence. You have to build your character sort of as you see fit, but you are also like, I don't want to say pigeonholed, but you're not a master of everything. Whereas I think a lot of the critique around Fallout 4 was, like, Tyler, you bring this up a lot, like, the main quest was go find your kid. And some people that's compelling narrative too, but to other people it's just like, no. So it's sort of forced,
I didn't give a shit.
yeah, it sort of forced a narrative on you that a lot of people didn't like, and that is sort of not conducive to what a role-playing game is to a lot of people. I mean, Skyrim sort of had that with Dragonborn, but a lot of role-playing games sort of work along the savior trope, you know.
I'd argue that most of Bethesda does do that. What the only game in recent memory? Well, I guess New Vegas as well. I didn't play it, but also Morrowind. But like, there's no real savior complex there. You're just some dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Rika Ree also asked, are you guys going to do Beyond Good and Evil 2 co-op? I don't even know what that is, so probably not.
Beyond what?
This is when it comes out.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 co-op.
Sounds familiar.
So it looks like it's in development or
Beyond
early
Good and
access.
Evil. Fuck, yeah, it rings a bell, but it's definitely it's not on our radar right now, and there's not a lot of. It seems like our niche probably going forward is actually going to be like more like co-op indie games, just because of the money issue that Zaya and was talking about earlier. It's a big commitment to get us to all commit to a $60 game on release, and I think I sort of was, I don't want to say twisted arms, but I definitely like kind of convinced you guys on this one because this is my baby. And I think the next one that we'll all jump at, that's like a AAA on day one release, will probably be Borderlands 3. But until then, we'll probably be playing more, like, we're going to probably, I think, aim for, like, indie games that are, like Deep Rock Galactic, that are kind of in early access. And then also just whatever sort of suits our fancy. Like, Wildlands has already been out for a year and a half or 2 years. But, that's a solid co-op game, so I've heard, so.
Some of my favorite games in the last 5 years have been indie games.
Yeah.
So, like, freaking, especially co-op games, We Were Here and We Were Here Too are really great 2-player games that indie.
Oh yeah, I've wanted to play that. Those things look so cool.
Have to have 2 players, but it's fucking great. They're great games. Like, requires so much communication, and like Z and I play in the same room, and it's really hard to keep from just looking at her screen and just like, what's the puzzle? Just show me the answer.
Oh, you hate puzzles? I fucking hate puzzles.
I like puzzles. We both like puzzles. It's just hard to resist, like, the answer's right there.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys will stick around with us, because we love you. We appreciate you.
Come along for the journey, my friend.
Stay a while and listen.
Yeah, I just kind of broke out Deckard Cain.
I'm going to break out my Deckard in your cane.
I'm gonna break my cane off in your deck.
I'm gonna bring in the Kermit the Frog. We're gonna. Hey, gonna join us? Nope, didn't do it. No, I'm out.
Bill Cosby.
Kermit,
that was horrible. Bill Cosby.
Kermit the
I
Frog
can't.
here.
No, it's too late. What if I put out the Sean Connery? Would that help you?
That sounds more like Bane.
Hello, friends.
Wait, give me some Bane quotes.
Shit.
Oh,
Fuck.
You're not scared. Not yet. Something. No, wait, that's Two-Face. God damn it. No, that's you're not sorry. Not yet. Fuck.
You're not scared.
You adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
There's the hack.
Alright, I gotta go bed.
Peacing? Okay. Moongaze says, "My soul is yours." Ooh, I thought it was to that new white woman you're dating. God bless you. God bless you, Moongaze.
Don't let your wife know.
Don't let your wife know. We'll keep your secret.
Or let her know.
Or I mean, yeah. Hopefully she's okay with it. You know what? We're gonna operate under the assumption that Moongaze is in an open relationship.
Just operate under the that she knows about it.
Yes.
Also, I've been AFK, but Rika has been here. Like, that looks like a familiar name too.
Yeah, she's been here before.
Why do we assume she?
You're right. I don't know. Rika Reed. I mean, that seems kind of feminine. I don't know. Not that.
Rika Rie.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm out, you guys.
Bye, Taco.
Night.
Night.
Love y'all.
Later.
I
feel
out
like
too.
we already signed off like a long time ago. Was that just for the video?
Yeah, that
Were
was
you
just
recording and streaming at the same time, and now we're just streaming?
Yeah, dude. Oh no, we're still doing both, but that was for the YouTube video. Like, I'm probably not gonna use this in the YouTube video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it derails a lot from Fallout 6 review. Anyways, I gotta go.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, let's sign off. I'll give y'all a holler next week. Happy weekend.
You too.
Night, motherfuckers. Happy weekend. Woo!
No.
Whoa.